life, mi amor.
Oh, Hey, every.
How's everyone doing? Can you guys listen? Can you guys hear now?
So we've been talking for like 5 minutes straight, and there was no one. But I think they're here now. Let me go to the chat. Can you see us now? It's good. Oh, yeah. So it's good now.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
So we're good?
Yeah, it was my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So Danny Danny zooms the type on my screen. She zooms it to like 400%. I don't know why she does that, but she
Because
zooms
I
in
have the microphone in front of
like
me, so I cannot
400%.
read.
It's like huge. It's like as if my mother was using the computer. Yeah, have you seen those like phones that have like super huge numbers? That's what Danny leaves my screen. Like, that's how she leaves my screen. So she's like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why, we're not live. I don't know. So I turn around. Remember, I'm in a cockpit. So
Yeah,
I can barely move my neck.
but you have to give me credit because I have made everything okay in
I,
the OBS,
I know.
and I pressed the button in YouTube that said
And
live,
right. She was changing, she
like
was
stream
pressing every
live.
button. Also, if you have to know something about Danny, when she gets nervous, she'll start pressing stuff like crazy. She doesn't like she turns off and she just starts pressing buttons. Pressing buttons. No consequence whatsoever. She just like goes nuts. And so I turn around and I peek, and there's this enormous blue button that says go live
Yeah,
that she never
yeah,
pressed.
yeah. I missed that.
Enormous. I mean, her face was glowing blue from the light of the button just shining on her face. So
Yeah,
now we're
I'm
good. I
sorry.
did like a super cool intro, but I think nobody heard that. Nobody heard the intro.
No, but go ahead.
But
You were
no.
rehearsing,
I'll do it
so
again. I'll do it again. It was a rehearsal. So I was saying how it's been 2.5 weeks, I think, that we haven't been doing videos. The reason for that, you guys probably know, I went to Liverpool to do a super cool workshop. We had an awesome time. I had an incredible time, and it was all thanks to, I mean, all of the attendees were incredible. But the organizer, Mick McNicholas, he found a way for me to go to a Liverpool game, to go to Anfield. It was super hard, but he found a way. He found tickets, and that made that experience just huge for me, absolutely huge for me. So I know, and I kind of expressed it in a post, but I love painting, but I love how painting also makes me, gives me the possibility to do other things in my life. And one of them is traveling. And the fact that through painting, I've been able to, in my life to go to places that I love and to have experiences that really, change my life. It's incredible. So for today, now that we're back, because we were anxious to be back, we're super, super happy. Um, we're going to paint Samu. And the reason we're going to paint Samu, I mean, we don't need a reason to paint Samu or Fair or Danny or Danny. That's when my Spanish and my English get confused, the way I roll my R's. But when I paint Samu or Fer or Danny, there's no reason to paint them, just, pure love. But I was saying how I saw Samu, we both saw Samu and Fer with Danny, because Danny hadn't seen them in a couple of weeks either. And they grow super quickly. I mean, this is probably the longest, throughout a couple of years that we don't see them. We
no, no,
usually see
no.
them every
But
week.
maybe when you
Oh,
went to
when
Rome.
Rome is 2 weeks. Rome
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
20 some. Yeah, Rome was like 20
Yeah,
days.
it
Yep,
was
yep, yep.
longer, but they were traveling,
Yeah,
so
or when they go on vacation,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
with
yeah.
their mother. But it's really it's they're at a point in their life where any hour that you don't see them, they just grow. And you see them differently. So that was wonderful when I saw Samu, and he's going to be a great subject matter for today. So I was thinking that we could do, yes, portrait in hands like we advertised it with the video, but we can also do hope to do at least a nice painting about control. So we're going to control some of our values. So my plan is, and let me just kind of scribble this just a little bit. My plan is to Let me see if we can fit everything that because I'm going to zoom in on the reference photo that we have. I'm going to probably be zooming in a lot more than what you guys have. And what I'm hoping that I can do is to control all my values in the upper part and then have like a full range of values and maybe slightly, ever so slightly higher chroma for the hands. So, and I think that that's going to be like super, super cool. So I feel that that's going to make for a kind of interesting painting if we pull it off. But I think it'll go fine. We'll see. That's good. That's good. Remember, when I do my drawings, I don't really do my drawings just to follow the drawings. I mean, there's going to be, and hopefully we can do this next year. There's going to be moments in more, I don't want to call them in further developed paintings or in more complex paintings because I think every single painting is highly complex. But there's going to be moments in compositions that maybe are a little more, I don't know, design crowded. Again, I don't even know how to say that because every time I want to differentiate something, like a larger painting from a smaller effort, I find that there's really no difference at all. So, anyways, with those compositions, with the larger compositions, um, I'm gonna try to show you guys how I, deal with my drawing on a smaller scale. And I used to transfer them. I used to grid everything up and then redraw it. But now I just feel that that's kind of, I don't know, not pointless, but I just feel that I don't want to do that anymore. It just takes more time and more effort. So, so I'm probably going to just have that experience in that smaller drawing and then try to translate it to something bigger. And I guess that that's how I kind of see drawing in painting. It's not as a, as mark making that are set in stone, kind of like thoughts that are set in stone that have to be then transferred somewhere else. No, I kind of see it as just an introduction to a problem, an introduction to problem solving. Let's call it that. I think that that's kind of nice. Um, and the idea is to be acquainted with the problem that you're going to solve, but you don't want to solve it with your drawing because what good is painting then? If you solved it already, then painting's not going to be fun. And I need painting to be exciting. I need something to happen while I'm painting, because if not, I know myself, I'm going to get horribly bored. So I feel that these marks, you guys probably have seen me, but I do them, but then I'm going to eventually just paint all over them. So this is just to know that I'm kind of like in the right neighborhood of what I want to say. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. I just need to have that tiny little bit of, I don't know if certainty is the word, but kind of like that peaceful mindset that, okay, we're in the right path. And then I'll go ahead and paint. And I think we're going to be okay. This is going to be what the painting looks like. I guess that you can already tell that that we're doing a fairly symmetrical. I'm not measuring like my axis. I don't really care to know where the exact midpoint of my page is. I kind of like things to be kind of off centered, off kiltered a little bit. So yeah, I think we're good. We do that. Go across. Because drawing doesn't matter right now, we can draw across things. It's not nothing precious about this drawing. So there we go. I think that's going to be nice. I think that's going to be cool. It's a good proportion. Oh, I love when lenses give me a chance to do slight distortions. So I'm probably going to cut in a little bit more when I see the inside of the lens, particularly on this one, our left, Samu's right, and then I continue with the cheek here, with the cheek, the jaw, eventually the jaw, That's going to be cool. I have to be careful with my tangents here. I don't want the rim of the glasses to connect perfectly there. And yeah, that seems cool. So I'm trying to see what problems small problems. I mean, they're not going to be super, tough things to solve, but they are going to be problems. So I'm trying to see what sort of things I'm going to have to deal with, but it's going to be pretty straightforward, I feel. So that's going to be okay. I feel that's going to be nice. It's actually nice. It's so weird because when I did the workshop, I hadn't painted from life in a little bit. I mean, when I say in a little bit, it's only like a couple of months, but still, that's enough time. And I don't know if you guys saw the images that I posted on my Instagram, but those were the paintings that I did. I think in total I did 6 paintings, and as is tradition with every single one of my workshops, always raffle them at the end. I never take anything with me, so that's kind of like a cool thing. But it was really nice. It was super super nice to paint from life again. It was really wonderful. Everyone's energy at the workshop was super super high, which always helps. Um, and I haven't. Well, and I haven't. I was going to say I haven't painted from pictures since, but I did a couple of paintings of sort of impressions of Liverpool that I had. I want to finish with a little bit more that I don't. They're not part of this project per se. I feel I just wanted to sort of remember or misremember, see if I misremember some of the things um that I felt about that trip um, through those paintings. So I think those couple of paintings are in my Instagram feed now, and one of them is of an empty sort of train. It's abstract. It's quite abstract, really. And the other one is of a bar that we went to. We were bar crawling a night, and what we did was Mick would take us to different bars around Liverpool, and we would stop at each bar and we would have a beer, or don't if you don't want to, and then somebody would pose and everyone else would draw. And in this particular bar, I ended up posing because when we got there, Liverpool was they were showing the game. Liverpool was playing in the Carabao Cup, and the game was on, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the the last 20 minutes of this game. I can so pose if I do that. So I posed for those drawings, and it was amazing. And it's awesome. You have a beer, you go to different bars, you sit for other people, and then half an hour goes by, and then you walk to the other bar. So it's like a nice bar hopping and drawing sort of mixed together. That's like super cool. I hadn't done that before, so it's a fun little thing that could become like a tradition. So super super nice. Okay, so I've spent way more time on this drawing than I wanted to, but I don't know. I wanted to check and see if I could get these bits and shapes right. I'm still going with the drawing. I don't know why. I think it's my fear of interlocked fingers that I still haven't gotten past. I just want to make sure that the hand sort of makes sense, that we have enough space, that it doesn't feel too, weirdly proportioned, I guess. But I think this is okay. I think this is okay. I think we'll be fine. So, what are we going to use to paint? I had a plan. I thought that we would use, and I only put this one out. I've been trying to see if I could get cheaper replacements and that are not heavy metal based, because my primary color palette, not my regular palette, but my primary color palette, I like a palette that has, it's not this one. It's actually the one that's underneath. Bismuth yellow. For my red, you guys have seen me used the quinacridone magenta, but I usually use cad red. And for my blue, it's like right here, I would use cobalt. So, I don't know much about bismuth. I'm gonna, let me read a little bit more about bismuth to see if it's that hazardous or as hazardous as cads and cobalts, or maybe you guys could Google it and let me know, and just comment below if you find something. But for sure, cadmium and cobalt, they're not great for you, especially if you leave them on your hands, like, and if you paint for years and you just don't have, you're just not careful with, washing your hands immediately after you paint. I've been trying to replace these. So what I tried was I bought like little tubes of Windsor yellow, which is this, and I bought Windsor red, which would be kind of right here. I would say it's a little close to cat red, and Windsor blue, which I have no idea what that is. It's maybe phthalo-ish, maybe. You guys can let me know. And I thought those would be like, cool replacements. I guess that's what Windsor Newton feels. It's their yellow, their primary red, and their primary blue, which is a really amazing palette. But I thought, oh, I'm gonna use this for tomorrow and Friday, but um, I used this yesterday because I was using a lot of my bismuth yellow, and Danny can attest to this. I actually ordered some of these colors before the workshop.
Oh yeah, and they canceled.
Yeah, and they canceled my order, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. So it is one of those frustrating things that, sometimes you need a color and sometimes you base your schedule upon that, but you don't get it. But anyways, so I was going to try to replace it with this, and I used it yesterday because I was using a lot of my bismuth that, again, you can see back here. And oh my God, as soon as I put it down, it's like, ugh. It's like painting with like yellow spit. I mean, it's not great. It's not a great color, not at all. So, I don't like the handling. It just feels kind of buttery, super transparent when compared to bismuth yellow. No body whatsoever, and I love full-bodied colors. So ugh, I hope I don't have to sacrifice my bismuth yellow. I can maybe sacrifice my cad red, but I don't really know. Cobalt blue, I have like no connection with. I love my ultramarine blue far more than cobalt. Even though this is gives me a lot more range, and I know it, and it's beautiful. It has beautiful saturation. I could do without that one. But anyways, so I thought I would use those new 3 primary colors. Maybe we can use them tomorrow just so you can hear me complain about them. But for today, I figured, no, let's go with my regular palette, which is titanium white, yellow ochre, cad red, crimson, alizarin crimson, just regular, old school alizarin crimson, not permanent, ultramarine blue, and raw umber. So,
So sorry.
yes. Hola, Dani.
Hola, Nicolas. Um, so Liad is saying,
Hey, Liad. Good to hear from you again.
yeah, he found on the internet. It says, is bismuth yellow toxic? Advantages of bismuth yellow. Bismuth yellow is ecologically more friendly than
Okay.
cadmium colors
There
and
we go.
non-toxic.
There we go. So I could eat it. There we go. Awesome. Thank you for that. That gives me a lot of peace of mind. So,
And they're also saying, oh, Liad is also saying, have you used Pyrrole Red? I don't know if that's
no, I
new.
know I know that that's super popular now. I know, Leah, I know that a lot of people used to use, or I used to hear that color far more with watercolorists. I wasn't so familiar with that color for oil painting. But what I've noticed is that a lot of people are using it now as a replacement of CAD. So maybe I could give that a shot. I was also looking into Naphthol, I think, Naphthol Red, but in my workshop, Anastasia Pollard was there, and Anastasia was telling me that that's a terrible red, that it's really horrible. So,
Yeah, and Liad says, don't eat your paint. So
no,
yeah,
never.
yeah,
We
bad
don't,
joke.
yeah, we don't endorse eating
Oh,
paint.
so Pyrrole Red is nearly just as opaque as cadmium red. Intensely red, outstandingly light fast, and non-toxic.
There we
So
go.
yeah,
Nice. So I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
yeah, they're saying it's not like you're rubbing your fingers in it, just keep using it. So
Um, yeah, but you should ask Danny how my fingers
oh,
look, how my hands
yeah,
look when I'm
terrible.
done painting.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
know
you could
what you
say,
do, but
yeah, and well, because I have to use my rag a lot because I don't have
oh
solvent.
yeah.
So a lot of it stays in the rag, so a lot of it transfers to my fingers. And easiest answer here would be just, use gloves, right? I cannot paint with gloves. I know that, I know that we could say, just get used to it. Come on, don't complain. Just get used to it. And you can be using your colors, whatever colors you like. And that's totally fine. I know. But um, I'm going to be honest. I much rather probably use different colors if I can find good replacements for them than using gloves. I know that I could get more used to or easy or it would be easier for me to get used to using good, albeit different colors, than using gloves. I really don't like using gloves. I think my hands get like super, warm and moist, and it's just I don't know. And I like to smudge my paint too. I don't know if you guys have seen me, but I do like to smudge my paint with my finger at times just to soften some edges, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel I could do it.
Yeah, but you're a lot more careful now.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Mm,
And I'm not a mess, like a complete mess. Like where I paint is kind of messy, but it's very, very sort of compartmentalized. It's very, very, one, this one little spot. But everywhere else, I feel that I take care of everything else. So it's not as bad.
yeah, so they have different opinions because
Okay, there we go.
they're
I
saying
like this.
paint with gloves,
Yeah.
sorry. Someone saying no, who wants to paint with gloves? And mm, they're saying seriously, painting without gloves now for me is like driving without a seat belt.
Really? Wow, that's dramatic. That's a little too dramatic, but I totally get it. And especially for people that have allergies, like skin allergies, if you have dermatitis or for example, my daughter, Fed has dermatitis,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
dermatitis.
yeah,
Is that what it's called? And yeah, and I don't want to even think what 5-10 years of constantly using paint or solvents would do to her skin. That's not quite my case, even though I do have like a fair skin person. I do have like brittle skin, so but I've never developed allergies to oil paint, not that I know of, at least. I think. I mean the obvious ones was with solvent, but with paint, I don't think so. So
yeah. They're saying another reason to switch is I just read that they're finding a lot of cadmium in the water supply
yeah.
in certain countries like the UK.
Oh wow. Oh, that's super heavy water, by the way. I was telling Danny how when I got here, like my skin was like super, super, super dry.
Yeah,
You
because
can feel it.
we have really good water here
Yeah,
in
real.
Bogota.
It's actually really.
It's
We
like
can't say the same. It's not. We wouldn't be able to say that it's this. It's true for all of Colombia because it's not. I
no,
mean,
yeah,
there are
yeah, yeah.
places that we can't go to the coast, for example, to Santa Marta, for example. You
Oh yeah,
can't. Oh, you have to spit like shower water. You
yeah.
can't. Yeah, that's.
But here in Bogota, we can drink the
Oh, yeah,
faucet water. So
I've drank from the faucet ever since I was born.
yeah,
I
me
feel,
too.
and it's perfectly fine. It's either that or I just have like ringworms, and I can blame them for my excessive weight. Maybe that difference, those 5 pounds that I can't get rid of. It's probably all tapeworms. Maybe.
Mm,
So by the way, I'll just let you guys know what I'm doing here. I'm probably maintaining the same value up here, although I may change it just a little bit, just a little bit. Um, like I said, I want this to be very close in value, so that's why we're sacrificing some of the contrast up here. So there are going to be beautiful things that we have in the photo that are not quite going to be represented here, but I'm trying. Hopefully, I'm doing that just so that we can have like a nice focal point down here. So let's see how that goes. Maybe it doesn't work that well. It doesn't matter, but we have to give it a shot.
eh, Camilo,
Sí, Camilo.
Camilo de Taller 301.
Uy,
Ya, sí,
Camilo. Qué
Camilo.
bueno oírlo, Camilo.
Dice, El bismuto se forma en la colisión de estrellas de neutrones.
No
Es,
empiece.
es perfecto que haya llegado hasta aquí para que Nicolás pinte con él.
Qué lindo. ¿Es en serio, Camilo? Eso está
Yo no
increíble.
sabía. A ver, espera, voy a buscar.
Es igual que nosotros, el bismuto, polvo de estrellas.
Eh,
O sea, uno tiene que esperarse hasta que dos estrellas se estrellen
para
para,
coger
para
el
hacer un tubo
pigmento.
de bismuto.
A
Es
ver.
sorprendentemente barato, diría la gente. Para pues lo que requiere. Iba a seguir con el chiste, pero no
No,
pude.
yo me
No, ya está,
desconecté de tu
sí, tú, sí,
chiste
sí.
apenas empezaste.
Tú vi como los ojos los echaste para otro lado sin verte los ojos, sin ver qué estabas haciendo.
Eh, no encuentro. No.
Pues sí es mentira y Camilo pues nos estaba contando el
No, no, no,
pedazo de
dice
una
sí, es un
canción.
dato real.
No, muy
Saludos,
chévere.
Daniela y Nicolás. Saludos también, Camilo. Gracias por acompañarnos siempre en los en vivos.
Qué chévere. No, es que yo no me había puesto a leer sobre ese pigmento, Camilo. Lo máximo. Ahora sí, o sea, hoy como un ñoño me voy a poner a leer todo lo que pueda entonces. Si ya es, si ya, si ya sé que eh, pertenece a, a los...
¿Qué está
no,
pasando?
no sé, es que estoy tratando de pintar y pensar al mismo tiempo. Pero sí, si pertenece a como los elementos que crean el universo, pues obviamente me interesa. Es que yo a veces me trabo cuando,
Sí,
como
40
que,
minutos.
sí, pero es
Sí,
porque tengo algo en la
quizás.
cabeza, me estoy diciendo, en mi cabeza me estoy diciendo, no, ese tono es de pronto un poco más oscuro. Eso es lo que mi cabeza me está diciendo, no, tengo que poner una sombra, pero esa sombra de pronto es un poquito muy oscura. Y entonces estaba pensando eso y estaba tratando de decir como que era, es que estaba pensando además
Ya,
que
ya te
quería decir que
entendí.
era uno de los building blocks, pero no supe tampoco traducirlo, entonces súper charro decir eso, fatal.
Uno de los,
Como building blocks del universo, como
pero pues,
¿cómo dice uno
de
eso?
los ladrillos que
No, de los
siguieron.
ladrillos, Dani, ¿qué es esa expresión?
Pero,
¿Has
pues,
oído como un físico cuántico? Este es uno de los ladrillos del universo.
no, pero de los ladrillos que forman.
No, pero tiene que haber una expresión como
Sí.
más útil para eso que quería decir.
They're saying, Nicholas, I find that very few artists do figurative painting. I I like with acrylics, like Sainer. I don't know if I'm
Seiner,
pronouncing this.
sí, sí, o Sanier, creo que, de pronto,
Yeah,
Seiner,
yeah.
Sanier, Etams,
I don't
ya,
know
ya,
how, but and Andrew Hem. Why do you
ya,
think
ya.
not many painters use them? How are they different?
Oh, they're very, I mean, they're very, very different in the sense that they may be the same pigment, because, essentially we use the same pigment, um, but the binder is different. The binder is completely different. So what binds those pigments together, what's making those pigments kind of stick together, is very different. So in oil paint, it's obviously different types of drying oils, and with acrylic, you have an acrylic binder, which is like an acrylic resin. And the handling of those two is just night and day. It's enormously different. I would before I would say, or I used to say, oh, it's so much worse. Nowadays, I think I'm far more cautious, and I just say it's different. It's absolutely different. And every time I see James Jean do, for example, a an acrylic painting, and your examples are perfect too, by the way. Andrew is also tremendous with
Yeah.
acrylic paint. I mean, if that is the selling point for acrylic paint, like what else do you need to know? It's perfect. I mean, you could do an incredible painting with acrylic paint then. Um, who else? Who else have I seen that does acrylic? Jeremy Miranda is doing those smaller paintings, but I think his larger paintings too are also acrylic. But you're right. Yeah, there should be a way in which, if we wanted to, we should be able to transition super easily to acrylic paint. I think we're just stubborn. Like oil painters are just super stubborn, I feel. And it's just hard for us to give up something. But that where I would say we've worked really hard to sort of construct this relationship with oil paint. So maybe there's that to it. That it's not super easy to say, oh, it's gonna take me a long time to sort of forge this relationship with these materials, and then I'm just gonna kind of give it up. I'm just gonna change it entirely because I now want to start all over again with these other paints. So I don't know. I think that that's probably part of it. Um, who knows? But I should try. I've always been very curious about what my work would look like or would feel like if I gave myself the chance to work with acrylic paint. So yeah, maybe I'll make that transition at some point.
Eh,
But it is different. It is very, very different. I have to
dicen,
say that.
perdón, dicen,
Dime. No.
hay un antiácido estomacal que lleva bismuto y un personaje de Steven Universe se llama bismuto.
Ya con
Eh,
esas dos, ya con esas dos
perfecto,
tenemos.
Lázaro. Em, y cuando estabas tratando de decir lo de building blocks,
Sí,
dicen building blocks igual bloques de construcción y
sí,
dicen tal
no,
vez sería los elementos que forman el universo, ya que no hay una frase equivalente que yo sepa. Saludos.
sí.
Sí,
Pero si ves, entonces trastabillé con razón de pronto.
pues pero
No, no, me demoré, me demoré.
bastante.
Me demoré,
Pero está perfecto,
pero
sí.
estuvo bien, estuvo bien.
Um, they're asking, is it harder to have soft transitions with acrylics? It seems less smooth.
Maybe, but again, proof is in the pudding. And when you see James's work, I mean, I would never, when I see his work, I don't think of anything. I mean, his work nowadays has to be super smooth. It's so distilled, his painting nowadays, that I can't imagine it, being rough, being described as expressive or rough. No, it's actually incredibly controlled. So I'm guessing that under, like, as with everything in life, like under the correct supervision, like under great hands, it can be as good a tool as any. So that's probably the honest answer.
Camila Ogorman
Hola,
dice,
Camila.
hola Camila, dice, hi, I can't believe how big has grown Samu.
See, yeah.
Sí,
He just got in from school. We just heard him come in,
yeah, and
and
he's,
yeah, he's enormous
yeah,
now. Yeah,
and he's taller like every week, like,
yeah.
yeah.
He's about to pass me. I mean, my height is not an achievement. So
Oh, and he passed me like a long time ago.
when he was like 4 weeks old,
yeah. Yeah, so
uh, but no, he's gonna pass me. And but again, I've never understood why that's a very macho-y thing to say. Oh, my kid is tall. It's like as if it was a great accomplishment. Like I have no like if you had to work really hard for something like that to happen, fine, but you don't have to do anything.
yeah.
Like literally and nothing, and you can't even control it because you can't even know what genes your son is going to get. So
And
I
it
don't know.
doesn't
People
change
are so
anything.
proud of that,
Yeah.
and it's always like they measure up kids. Like Samu has a bunch of cousins, and they always measure them. And who cares? Like who gives a crap? That's so ridiculous. Unless you're like hell bent in your kid playing basketball or something, and you're super invested. But again, who cares? But yeah, but my son, give him a couple of months, I feel, and yeah, he's gonna see my bald spot for sure. He's gonna be looking down at my bald head.
Oh, but I'm a lot shorter and I can see
Yeah, when we record.
it. um, they're saying, are you ever attached to any of your paintings, or like me, not really?
No, not really. I think the only one that we've had this conversation about was the Andre the Giant one, which
Yeah.
that for some reason I just felt super super connected with, but not attached, just connected. Because when I think of attached and when people sort of um, speak about attachment, it's almost like if it's a representation of somebody that you care about, then that's attachment. But could you imagine that? Like, for example, I would get attached to a painting of Danny or to a painting of Samu or to a painting of Fed. And then maybe my sister comes along and I paint her and I'm like, no, 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 this is going to be up for sale. She's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? I'm nothing to you now? Like, all of the other ones you're super attached, and mine you're like, yeah, I can sell this one. So it can't be a measurement of how much you care about someone, about the subject of your painting. And when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, this is super arbitrary. It can't just be because somebody's represented in a painting that you care about that painting. So when you notice those things, you're like, no, no, I'm fine. I much rather just believe that I can say goodbye to any of them than to try and find reasons for one of them being um, being more important than the others, and not more important even. It's just, I don't know. That's why I tried to be honest when I was trying to figure out why I had formed this strange connection with that painting of Andre the Giant, because I'm not a wrestling fan. I mean, I was a wrestling fan, I guess, because of how novel it was for us as Colombians. When I used to travel and I used to, watch these shows on TV about wrestling that I thought were real, and it does take me back to a moment in my life and relationship with my father and my brother. Yeah, but to be honest, like, those things are wonderful. Those things are wonderful memories, but I would never say that those are the reasons why suddenly this painting just kind of meant so much. I did have a blast, like, calling my brother and telling him, "Oh, do you remember those things?" And it was kind of cool to you kind of go back and share those memories. But again, it wasn't quite that either. I don't know. I don't know. Rationally, I can't really give you an answer to why suddenly this painting was important for me. You know what maybe could have been it, that I think I kind of I mentioned it. Maybe the fact that I felt that I did a painting where I ended up painting almost exactly what I wanted to paint, and that felt really special for some reason, because painting is always super elusive, I feel. And if you guys have painted, and I know that many of you have, you know that feeling. You know that feeling that um where we sort of establish a plan in our heads, and we think it's going to go smoothly, and then we start painting and nothing really goes to plan and nothing works, and eventually a painting is just where we surrender and we finish, and we just, like Edwin Dickinson says, we do the best of a bad job, and we just then let it go. But that to me is very that description to me has always I've always felt is at the core of painting. It's just, a bad job, the best of a bad job that you can do. And with this painting, I'm not saying it's my best painting. I'm not saying it's an extraordinary painting. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying that it's almost like it's one of those weird moments where what you wanted to paint, you were able to paint. And I think that's, again, that's something to be, mm, I don't know, proud of, or to be recognized, maybe. It was important for me to recognize that. And with Danny, we were like, in the context of our painted lives, we gave it a price that we thought, well, nobody's probably going to buy this, but it doesn't matter. Like, I was okay with just having this moment with this painting. And it was surprising that it sold. It sold after like 2 days of being at that higher price point.
Yeah.
So it was strange. Again, very strange feeling. Also, a very strange feeling that somebody else, because they wrote and they explained why they liked it, which was very cool. It wasn't because, they thought this was going to be like a super cool, strange investment. It's the painting that he feels it's like super special. So if I get this, then it's going to be like this kind of, kind of relevant, weird image that nobody else will have. No, no, no. It was nothing like that. It's a dude that was about my age, super nice. And he just said, I share the exact same memories. Like, I remember those moments in that exact same way that you described them, and I thought that that was super cool. And I was like, that's amazing. That's really awesome. I mean, that's when you can share that memory with somebody and it means also something for them or to them, and they feel like that the painting can represent that, can really cement those memories or bring back those memories or serve as a sort of um it detonates those memories. I feel that that's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. So, yeah, again, in this whole project, that's the only time we did that. And I'm gonna, the project hasn't finished, but I'm gonna say we did that because I feel that it's not gonna happen again. So I don't see it happening again, and I don't feel I am mistaken about that feeling. So
Have you tried titanium buff? I feel like it's a must have
buff.
mixing color.
Right. That's like a little bit darker in value and yellower, kind of yellower, grayer, also in tone, I feel. I think that's the buff one, right? I haven't tried it, but I've noticed some people use it in the workshops that I teach. So that's why I've noticed it. Maybe that's a little too dark with those accents. I mean, they're not really accents, but contextually they're accents. And maybe when I come down here, just bring them out. I mean, I don't want him to be ghostly back here. I just want control, and then just a little punchier here. So maybe we're doing fine. Um, slowly punch up the purples in here. That could be also nice. We'll see. I think we're heading in the right direction. We're not quite there yet, but at least it seems like the right direction. So I'm kind of okay with that.
Mm, Ignacio pregunta, ¿consejos para encarar un cuadro grande, cerca de 2 metros?
¿Qué tipo de cuadro? Sería chévere también saber si es como una composición de multifigura, o sea, como muchas figuras, como una coreografía de figuras, si es un espacio, un paisaje, pero quizás lo más difícil, Ignacio, cuando se tiene una pintura grande, es que la esencia que uno podría reconocer en la imagen haciendo, digamos, un boceto inicial de este tamaño o un estudio o una serie de estudios, se pueda mantener durante la ejecución de la pintura. Eso es súper difícil, súper, súper difícil. Es quizás de las cosas más complejas que hay, como en la elaboración de una pintura de un formato grande. Y es que la energía o el entendimiento que uno tiene con la imagen en un formato pequeño, pues uno la sepa y la pueda traducir a un formato grande. Y no hay fórmulas para eso. O sea, incluso históricamente uno ve muchísimas pinturas donde a mi juicio, por ejemplo, los bocetos son mucho más interesantes o los estudios son mucho más interesantes que la pintura grande que termina siendo como un gran ejercicio de culminar esa idea, pero se pierde un poquito no sé, de esa como visión compacta que se tiene de la imagen cuando se puede ver o cuando se puede concebir cuando está pequeñita. Entonces, bien difícil. Yo creo que ese es como el reto más grande que tiene una pintura de un formato grande. Pero ánimo, pues chévere, nunca es fácil. O sea, tampoco hay fórmulas para nada de eso, entonces interesante de ver qué pasará con esa pintura. Nos mantiene al tanto, Ignacio, por favor.
They're saying, what about a death of a coworker return or something similar?
Oh, that would be cool. You know what's difficult about those endeavors that are super super cool? Just they require a lot of people and a lot of scheduling and a lot of lives being on the same wavelength and trying to fit their own responsibilities and to find time for their own through their own kind of endeavors. um they have to schedule those things, and everyone has to again meet those requirements so that nobody suffers for that. And I think that's probably the most difficult part. What's most interesting is just kind of artists working together. I'm hoping that Danny's a little bit nervous because she's a little bit nervy because she feels that the exercise that we're gonna do together for next year has to produce consistently kind of super amazing results. And I was telling her how that doesn't matter. I mean,
But I'm nervous because I have a super different time of producing things than yours.
right.
So no,
Yeah, but you
I'm happy because it's gonna be a challenge. Like
yeah,
once
and
I'm in, there's like no return. So
right, right. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you've already committed. Like
yeah.
I said you were doing it. So that's
Oh, you committed for me.
yeah, 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 yeah. Cuz I know
I
that you
never
were going to
said a word.
procrastinate. So I was going to just give you that little push that you needed. So
Yeah, but it's gonna be weird for me because I do like one thing a month or like
no, you can work a little bit quicker, I feel. But
mm,
no, I'm not saying that quicker is like a huge virtue or anything, but I think that you're not really giving yourself the merit you deserve. You can totally do this. I mean, you could do a painting in an hour if you had to.
mm,
Yeah, it would look like a painting done in an hour. I could do a painting in an hour too, and it would look like a painting that was done in an hour. So it's not really about time or anything. I mean, time is just a variable that just is just there, but doesn't mean that the the level of a painting or the significance of a painting, the weight of a painting has to be tied to that time, to the amount of time that you know, that goes into the execution of the painting. So, but I was using that exercise that we're going to do to say that it's we're just two people, and I'm positive that it's going to be hard for us to try and understand not scheduling, but to try and understand how to manage that sort of time. And I also feel that it's going to be kind of cool to not show each other's process, like so that it's kind of like a nice surprise when we show
at
the
the end,
painting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I feel that if we know what we're working on, it kind of conditions. And by the way, when I say what we're working on, it can be like a super simple painting. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't have to be. We're not talking about these great compositions or anything. No, no, no. It just, I think the importance of those paintings is the fact that we can kind of mm, throw ideas back and forth at us, and that's it. Like that's what's going to be cool about it. Just where we go, like the directions we can take one painting. But the painting can be anything. It could be just, it could be a drawing or painting. It could be anything. It literally doesn't. I think that the value of the exercise is not dependent on on whatever we feel the quality of the image should be. So that should be liberating, I feel. But again, I also feel that those things we're going to be able to recognize once we start doing it.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, like this project, we're probably going to think it's about something, and then it's going to change into something else.
Yeah.
And I want to give us the chance to see what it turns into. Because I think that art doesn't give itself that possibility that much. I think that if we're trying to do something new, and if we don't get the reaction that we think we would have gotten, we don't get the likes we thought we were going to get, or whatever, just people telling us, "Oh my god, that's amazing." We feel, "Okay, this was a stupid idea." And many times ideas that can be potentially super cool, we put them sort of in the back burner, or we forget them entirely just because we didn't get that initial response. And I think that we have to give ourselves the chance to let something kind of grow. Again, grow into whatever it is. If it grows into just a ridiculously simple idea also, that's super cool. Like I'm totally fine with that. I have no expectation, but I have incredible excitement about what we're doing. But if I'm excited, it's only because I'm gonna do something with you. So that's good enough for me.
That's so sweet. Um, yeah, so Liet is saying, Danny, the more you do, the easier and faster you will get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's also why I want to do that because I am an overthinker. With every like brush stroke I'm gonna do, I
With everything,
overthink.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, we should get something for lunch. Do you want to paralyze Danny for 3 weeks? Oh, Danny, tell me what we should get for lunch. Oh my God. It's like she
No, but
stalls.
you know what's the thing that I'm okay with anything, but I don't know why I don't want to get something that someone else would not like. I know that sounds stupid, but that's how my mind works. Like maybe I get something that I want, but if not everyone's happy, like
Yeah, but who cares?
yeah,
I've
yeah,
always
yeah,
told you, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
and
Like,
I've told you that I should not care about that, but yeah. Oh, they're saying they can hear me.
they can't hear you?
Can you hear me now? It's maybe because I was pointing my mouth towards the
What are you
other
going to say?
side
What's
of the
going on?
microphone.
What's going on over there?
No, but because I have to be super near
Oh,
the
yeah, I remember.
microphone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All the things
They're
that we
saying
learned
you
from.
sound distant.
Oh, is that like a sentimental thing?
Yeah.
Danny
You
sounds
sound super
distant.
cold.
Yeah.
uh,
And Nicolas sounds shady.
oh,
I'm going to bring it up.
no, yeah.
I'm never going to let that go. In
No.
my eulogy, you can say that he was shady. Now that he's not here to complain, oh, we know. We
He
all
was
know he was
super
shady.
shady. Oh, yeah, but no, they're saying they can hear me. Yeah. No, yeah, they can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah. I'm
You
gonna
know,
try
Danny,
to.
I've thought about this.
What?
But Danny knows that I'm not religious or anything. But if I die, like let's say I die like soon or whatever, it doesn't like
No.
I'm not speaking. Let's not be morbid about this, but it's just hear me out. Um I've always thought that if there is something else like after death, you should give a talk, you should give a speech, and
I should give
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
speech?
put you on the spot. You
Okay.
should give it, and you should commit today to saying that you will do it, just so
Mm.
everyone knows that you
So
will.
you're committing for me again.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, right,
saying
right,
I'm
right.
gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
it.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm dead, so
So you have
if you
to.
don't want to respect the dead man's wish, that's totally on you. But I feel that that's terrible. But so you should say, Nicolas said that if there was something on the other side, he would manifest himself
Right
right
now.
now.
Yeah.
And you give me like
In
15 seconds.
silence.
Yeah, it can't be like right now, and I just start making everything shake, and the I don't know, chandeliers crashing down. No, no, no. You got to give me like 15 seconds because maybe it takes me a little bit to get there. But and you give me 15 seconds, and if I can do, yeah, I'll try to do something that's unequivocally. I'll try to do something where there's no doubt, that that's a sign.
But you know what happens? I think that if you become a ghost, like you're thinking
No,
that
maybe
you're
maybe it's
becoming,
not a ghost.
but yeah, whatever, call him ghost, but you're becoming like a superhero.
What?
Yeah, because you think that you can make an action that can like shake the earth or whatever.
Well,
Maybe
I
you're
mean, I'm not going.
like ghost Nicholas, like
That's a little too
here I
grand.
am, and yeah, no one
No,
would
no,
hear
no. But
anything.
but
Like
no, no, no. But what if it takes like an enormous amount of energy to pull it off? It's not a grand act. Maybe it just takes an enormous amount of energy to just make like a little thing fall.
yeah, so maybe you just like put all your energy and just
No.
throw a cup, and nobody would
Well, you'll
know.
know. You'll know. If you know, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And then you know that I'm always going to be watching. Always, always. You can do whatever you want in your life. Just know that I'm always going to be watching.
They're saying, wow, LOL, for Danny.
What an idiot.
Give him a full 5 minutes. The audience will
Oh,
appreciate
I'd
that.
love that.
Haha,
I'd love that.
superhero ghost.
I'd love that. It's like, okay, can we move on? And you should be like, no, no. He said 5 minutes.
Yeah. Put out some paint on a palette to let him paint with
Could you
as a
imagine?
ghost.
The first like interdimensional painting. What if it's a crappy one? Could you imagine? Oh my God, he's painting. Oh my God, it's actually not
Oh
good.
yeah, what's
Yeah.
that?
Oh my God, it's really terrible. Yeah.
mm, yeah. So
Could you? I'd love that.
what?
Ghost paints and underwhelming painting. That would be
Well,
really
that was
nice.
bad.
No, that's actually really good.
No.
It's oh my the first ghost painting is surprisingly underwhelming. I'd love that.
mm, so when you were talking about the death of a coworker,
Right?
Atkins is saying, I'm going up to see Ben Bjorklund in a few weeks. I'll
Oh,
float the idea to him.
oh, please tell him that I send him a lot of love. That we both Danny and I send him a
Yeah,
lot of
but he
love.
doesn't know me. I mean, we
Well,
spoke like one time.
no, but
No, like
enough for him to
yeah, but he was
to
so
send you
nice.
my birthday painting. So,
Yeah, he was super nice. Mm, uh, they're saying I don't know what that means, but will the next stream involve a potter's wheel? Do you know what?
oh, yeah, because they're making a reference to
But
Ghost.
what's a potter's wheel? Do you
La
know?
una
La urna donde se echan las cenizas.
no.
¿Qué es?
No, el cosito, el
Tan
Lazy
burlón.
Susan, donde pones la cosa de barro para modelarlo, el que gira. Chu, 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 chu. Y es que hay una escena en Ghost. So so Danny
I don't
has.
know.
I'm
Yeah, I didn't
I'm gonna
know
come.
what
I'm
the
gonna come to the defense of Danny. Danny has this enormous void of movies. You know,
so that's going in my defense.
well, yeah, that was a little judgy,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah, a
thought
little
that
bit
you were gonna say that I had an enormous like
ego.
vocabulary in Spanish and
Yeah,
not in English, but
enormous
no,
ego.
no.
No. But this all stems from you not knowing movies that are super part of like pop culture, which is totally fine, by the way. Totally fine. Like I actually like movies quite a bit, and it was always surprising for me that she didn't know of a bunch of movies that were very very famous. And I've introduced you to like super cool movies, I feel. Um, but yeah, so I don't think Danny has ever seen Ghost, which is, I don't know. Is it a good movie? Does it hold up? I don't know. I don't think it's a great movie, to be honest. Maybe it was a good movie for that time, but I don't know if it's a good movie. But it's very
Uh,
famous. You've probably seen like
I
Patrick
don't know if you're
Swayze.
asking me or like
No, I'm thinking out
everyone.
loud. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you've seen it, Danny. It's
Oh, they're saying you
Patrick
didn't
Swayze.
miss anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's but Patrick Swayze hugging. Well, it's
I don't
actually
know
yeah.
who
See,
he is.
I don't know Patrick Swayze. Demi Moore,
Oh yeah, but
Whoopi Goldberg.
yeah, but you know that about me that I don't know the name of any
One
famous
famous or
actor
not
or
famous? Yeah,
actress or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So they were famous at that time. I
So
mean, Patrick Swayze was pretty cool.
Ghost movie. I'm gonna Google
That's probably
it.
one of the first images that you'll see. It's very memey, I think.
This one?
Yeah, that's has to be part
Yeah,
of
no,
so
I
many
haven't.
memes.
No,
No,
but
she's never seen it.
no.
Yeah, and she probably hates it. I mean, if you look at that image, it's so corny. It's so
Yeah.
like without context, it is so bad.
It's like a music video.
Like a 80s music
Yeah.
video, like really bad.
Like super cheesy video.
Yeah, like a power ballad maybe music video.
Yeah. They're saying no, skip it. It's not. You didn't
Yeah,
miss
I don't know
anything.
if I could watch Ghost again. I saw it in theaters when I was young, but I don't think I could watch Ghost again.
Dice no es malita.
Sí, sí.
Star Trek is better, Danny.
Well, yeah.
Very bad movie, they're saying. So, yeah. And they're asking, Danny, have you seen Star Wars? Yes, Liet. And the first time I saw a Star Wars movie, it was, do you know,
Rogue
remember
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nicolas invited me to the movies, and he was like, oh, it's about Star Wars, but you don't have to know anything because it's like a chapter apart. So, yeah.
Which I'm not I mean,
but I had to know a
it's a
little bit about.
standalone-ish story, Rogue One, which is really it's actually pretty good. I have to
Yeah.
rewatch it.
No, but I was so lost. Like,
Oh, she was incredibly lost.
yeah. And I was like, these are good or bad? And he was like, they're good. And I was like, okay, these one are good. So these ones they're fighting too are bad? But nothing made
No,
sense
but do you
because
remember like what you asked was like who? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you were asking which ones are the good ones and which was in the are the bad ones. And I think there's a scene where there's stormtroopers. So I told her, okay, those white ones are the bad ones. You know, the regular original trilogy stormtroopers.
like the white suits.
Right, right, right.
And I was like,
And she
but
was
they're
like, okay.
fighting against
And then
the other
suddenly
ones.
there are what are they called? At the end, I feel there are like dark troopers.
But
Maybe
they
that's
were
what they're
fighting
called.
against each
So
other.
Danny goes like, okay, so the dark ones are the good ones then. And I was like, no, those are also like bad ones. And she was like, okay, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. So
So maybe in hindsight,
it was a terrible movie.
yeah, Rogue One, Rogue One wasn't
Like
like
the
the
first
best.
introduction, it was terrible because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I didn't
But
get a thing.
but I think I made it because we did watch like the newer trilogy. I think we watched it at the movies, right? Yeah, we saw all of
watched them
those at the
all.
movies.
Yeah.
And
After that,
right. So I think after that we sort of or I made it a point that we should watch all of them. Did
no,
we
I
watch all of
told
them?
you. I told you like I was so lost that I want to know what was happening.
But did we watch
which-
all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
In
we did.
order.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
But I remember that you told me that we were not going to watch them in the order of the story, or
oh, I think we watched them how they came out
yeah.
in like, chronological
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
order of
No, no, no. I think
No?
we watched them in the
Did we?
Yeah, yeah, in the order of the story. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
you told
Okay.
me.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
actually pretty good.
yeah. Yeah. Mm, they're saying a ghost story is better. Mm,
Ghost Story. ¿Cuál es esa?
I don't know. No
Which
sé,
one
a
is
ver.
that? Sounds
Uh,
familiar. Ghost Story?
Ghost story. Um, it's from 2017. I
Okay.
haven't. So
Can I see it?
yeah,
No, I don't recognize it.
no, me neither.
No, it has that Oliver Jeffers.
Yeah, I was
little
gonna say
ghost.
that it looks like the Oliver Jeffers ghost. Mm. So they're saying that Darth Vader scene, Jesus. I thought it was going to explode in the cinema. Mm,
Es que, so in Rogue One, Danny,
yeah.
there's a Darth Vader scene.
Oh,
that
because
is-
that's the thing. We never saw that movie again. I don't know why.
No, not Rogue One. We should
No.
watch it again. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's on Disney,
Because
so
now I think I'll get it.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe some of a little bit better. I feel, yeah. So there's a scene
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't watch Mandalorian with me, did you? No.
No.
So there's a scene that kind of mimics a scene that's at the end of Mandalorian on Rogue One. So they both, like father and son, they both kind of do the same thing, which is kind of cool, actually. But yeah, Danny doesn't really care about those
No,
things,
but don't say that.
about my feelings.
mm. Also, they're asking what's my favorite film.
Oh my God, you should
Can you
You should
tell
be
them about
super
the
honest.
time that
No,
we
like
were
the f-
dating and
yeah. super honest. And this is like
no,
a tough
but
film.
Go ahead, you and
No, because I even don't remember the film.
oh, you have to remember the name.
No, because I mean, so
But wait, I'm gonna try to find the name in English of the movies. But you can start with the story. So
because I actually like going to the movies and I'm a big fan of movies. But our first movies were terrible now that I think about it because we watched like Annabelle, like I bought it off the street like bootleg some.
Annabelle?
Do you remember that we bought like
No.
scary movies, like really bad scary movies that were
No.
coming out in theaters or something like that? So So I ask her, well, so what's your favorite movie? And she says, well, it's actually like a documentary. And I was like, okay, that like I'm totally cool with that. But she was like, no, but it's like a tough, it's a really
Well, but
really tough movie to watch. And I was
no,
like, no, okay, I'm okay with that. Like I'm totally fine with that. 100% fine with that. Like I've watched like super tough movies in my life, and I can deal with it. Oh my god. Danny goes like, what is it called?
I can find the name. I don't know what's going on with my brain, but just give me a second. I'm trying
Okay, so
to search for it.
so it's a I mean it's a horrible story of
No, no, it's not horrible. I
it
mean,
is I mean it's a tragedy. It's a psychopath and it's a tragedy. It's a dude that's a psychopath
no,
and
no, no, it's not the dude.
or the parents?
No,
I
because
forget now.
no.
I
Oh,
forget now.
you didn't pay
No,
attention
of
to
course not. Anything
to
that
the
has to do with
documentary.
children, I'm like
No,
my
because
brain shuts off.
so it's a documentary about a friend that's doing like again the documentary for his best friend who passed away. And um I don't know, I think I'm misremembering, but I think that the his wife murdered him, maybe, but she was pregnant and she had a baby from the murdered father. So
So this is a true story.
yeah,
Remember
so he
this.
was trying to do oh, I remember. The name is Dear Zachary, a letter from a dad about his no, for a son about his parent, I think it's called. So let me check. But it's a really good one. But I think I'm going to spoil if I
Yeah, maybe we
talk.
shouldn't spoil it
Yeah,
if
if you want you can
you
see
know.
it in YouTube. It's the full, like the full documentary is
Okay, no,
online.
it's
So
it's but it's terrible. Like
no, it's amazing. I
no,
mean,
I mean I mean it's how should I say that?
but as a documentary,
It's
it's
it's an absurd it's a horrible story. It's a terrible tragedy.
no,
It's a tragedy that you
yeah,
think you're done with the tragedy. No,
but no spoilers.
no. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You think you're done with the
You
story,
know, the thing
and
is,
suddenly, no, it's even worse. And this is the first movie that we saw. Like the first thing
but
she wanted to watch with me.
no, but the
It's
thing is
like,
that
and she knew I had kids and they
no,
were
but you
little.
thought
And I was like, what is this sick person? Like,
no,
what the hell is
no, no,
she
no, because the
doing?
documentary is so good. I mean,
No,
and it's so sad and like it touches
yeah,
every
but
part of your
oh
heart.
no, it broke me. It
Yeah,
broke
but
me.
the thing
Oh
is
my
that
God.
I thought that you like you told me show me your favorite film, and I was like, okay,
I
if you
know,
really
but
want to see it,
I
it's
didn't
this
say
one.
show me your favorite film, you psycho.
No,
No, it
but
was
but you thought that I was going to choose like
something like
like
Mean
Toy
Girls.
Story.
Mean
Yeah,
Girls, which you like
yeah,
too.
because yeah, I love it. But you were like in the mood, like in a super light mood.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what, usually
Yeah, and I
in
remember
those
that you were like,
scenarios, you
"Oh,
never go for those like
but that's me. I mean, you know me."
yeah,
So,
yeah, but
and I remember that you were like, "Oh, would you like popcorn or maybe something to
oh my
drink?" And I
God,
was like,
popcorn?
"I don't know if you were gonna
Yeah.
appreciate that while we're seeing the documentary, but
Oh,
yeah,
I would have puked. I would have puked if I had
yeah."
eaten anything.
Cal dice, es divina esa peli. Sí, Cal es muy, muy buena,
Pues no sé si divina, Cal. O sea, es terrible. Es
pero es
terrible.
muy...
Es una tragedia
mm,
terrible.
eh, oh, and also I love... ay, ¿cómo se llama ahora? Porque se me está olvidando.
Porque no tienes memoria.
La de
¿Cuál? Yo te ayudo.
la de stop motion, ¿qué me pasa? La que veo como cada mes.
Marian
Oh
Max.
yeah, Mary and Max. Also love Mary and Max. I don't know if you've seen that. It's super good. Mm,
Yeah, she has Danny has this side like super, wistful, like nostalgic things, like melancholic things. She does like that. Again, she has a fascination with murder.
no, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. So maybe if in my eulogy, I'm just trying to let everyone know how I
No,
died, Danny.
that's
Danny.
horrible. No, I don't
if I died in you know, unexplained circumstances.
No. And you know that I'm the least um
Catchable
no.
killer.
No, like harmful person in the world?
That's what every neighbor says
No, ay,
about
Nicolas.
serial killers.
No. No.
She was so sweet. So, like, how would you ever imagine?
No.
She was so sweet. How? That's not my Danny.
And who talks like that?
I don't know your neighbors. We live like in a, you
And
know,
here?
I don't. We moved away for some reason. I don't know. We're in Florida.
Yeah, they're saying Marian Max es divina. Sí, es muy, muy linda. Mm, I don't know what film do
Me?
I like or do we like maybe
Do we like?
that we have seen together. Yeah. I don't know if
Mm,
maybe you have something in mind because I don't
um.
know what's going on, but my mind is like
Well,
blank.
I could tell you what's
Yeah.
going on. For 5 years, it's been like that.
They're
Uh,
saying, oh, sorry. They're saying she will put cadmium red on your face while you sleep.
yeah. Or she's gonna do like what's that M Night, the first one? I See Dead People. What's it that called?
Hmm?
Yeah, that they were poisoning the girl all the time with a soup.
No, but that would be
And
you
Danny
and me.
cooks. Danny's the one that cooks.
And
Danny cooks.
Nicolas.
She does like a super mean fish.
It's
That's like your best dish. We had it today too.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
your
that's like
favorite one.
yeah, that's like super good. Like objectively good.
You
I'm
have
not saying like, oh, it's good because,
you made
this
it
is
with
your
love, yeah.
best, right? No, no, no. I think that that's like objectively really good.
No,
So,
thank you. Mm,
do you
oh,
remember when we watched what's
sixth
that?
sense.
Oh, Sixth
They're
Sense. Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
yeah.
So you're going to Sixth Sense me.
Remember when we what?
When we had that spell that I showed you, what did I show
That
you?
spell.
Spell is like a moment in time, like a instance in
Oh
time
no, I
that
didn't
we
know
do
what that
things
was.
like
I was like, what?
what? That I showed you. What did I show you? Moon. Do you remember Moon?
No.
No, that's an amazing. You like that one. You
Oh,
like that movie a lot.
so let me see.
And I showed you. I think I showed you all like this space
Moon.
drama
Oh yeah,
ones.
yeah, that was good.
That's a
Yeah, I like
that's
that
not
one.
good. That's like a super good movie. I
Yeah, that
love
was
that
good.
movie. And I think I showed you Interstellar also,
Yeah.
which you liked, I think. You really liked. What else did I show you that's like spacey ones? What else did we watch? There's another spacey one that's like really good. Let me
Ay,
think.
no, que dice que esa peli es buena y yo pensé que estaba hablando del documental de Dear Zachary y dice, no, yo hablo de Ghost Story. No,
Ah,
no,
sí.
yo pensé.
Obvio, nadie va a decir que esa peli es bonita, mi amor. O nadie la describiría
Pero
como bonita.
sí, se me hizo rara la descripción, pero
Pero
es
es
un
cal.
muy buen documental, ¿no? Em, Dice, toca que deje que Dani pruebe la comida primero, espera un ratico y ahí sí
Sí.
come. No, espera un momento porque yo estoy quedando acá como
Yeah, no,
una...
no. They're saying that I should let Danny try the food first.
No, that's not... Okay.
So I'm gonna, with every meal, I'm gonna have to do like the Princess Bride. I'm gonna have to try to exchange plates, and I know that eventually both of them had poison.
No, I'm the one that... If you cook, oh, you
Oh,
have to try it first
I'll
because
just
I'll be...
poison you naturally.
Yeah.
Without my knowledge. It was just bad food.
Mm,
Why did she die? Why did she have to die? Well, she tried my food.
mm, they're asking what's your favorite movie?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a tough one. That's super hard, I feel. Like one movie?
Yeah. That's why I was trying to think in like of one movie
Mm-hmm.
and I end under the bus. I ended up under the bus because you're throwing me under the bus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, I
horrible.
give you a hard time, but I'm good at giving you a hard time always.
Mm.
I don't know. City of Lost Children, I love. Absolutely love. I love that movie. Um Oh,
See, it's a
I
very
really like.
hard question.
Yeah. some Wes Anderson movie. I have to pick
Oh
one
yeah,
of Wes
yeah,
Anderson because I really
yeah,
love his movies
yeah.
too.
Maybe me too.
And if I have to pick one, oh wow, it's so tough too to pick one. Oh, I don't know. Grand Budapest, I think it's an easy one. That's like an
But
easy
like
pick.
your favorite
I don't
of the
know.
world, like
Rushmore maybe. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think about that a lot.
because Dear Zachary is not my favorite movie in the world.
I know you just really like that movie.
No, I just wanted to show you because I thought that you would appreciate a good documentary.
No, I mean
But I
a
guess
good
you don't.
documentary is like
Yeah, I
let's
guess you
follow the
don't.
whales. You know,
No,
let's
because you
let's
you
see how beavers make a dam. And I would have been like, oh, that's super interesting. That's so cool. But it's not like this horrible tragedy. I mean, you're hiding in the documentary thing the fact that it's like this enormous tragedy. Like,
you're hiding? Who's hiding?
well, you're just like, oh, it's a documentary. You're doing the same thing you did when you showed it to me. Oh, it's a documentary.
No, I
Oh,
told
it's
you
like a super
it's a
cool
very good
documentary.
but harsh
No,
documentary.
no, no. This Bud Harsh thing.
I told
This is
you, I
new.
told you it
No,
was
this is
hard
new.
and you were like, "Oh, I'm fine."
With
Yeah,
that idiot
whatever.
voice.
Yeah, that was you.
With that dumb idiot voice.
Yeah. Big Fish es demasiado buena.
Oh,
Sí, me
Big Fish
gusta
is good.
mucho.
Yeah, Big Fish is really good too. Yeah, that's a good
They're
movie.
saying my favorite is it's Freaky Friday. Have you seen Freaky Friday,
Is that
Nicola?
the one where they change the bodies?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So wait, Freaky
So now I'm
Friday.
I effed up because these
Yeah.
hands are too small for the head, I feel. So I have to make them bigger, but make them work. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll see.
I would like to know what's your favorite film. Like you guys, maybe if we have seen the movie, we can talk about that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or we can see the movie if we haven't. Don't
So
you
what
think?
did we watch recently? We saw Dune,
Oh
which
yeah,
we
because
both liked.
yeah, they're saying it's better tell the last one you watch and what you think about it. So yeah, it's what you were gonna do. We
So
watched
Dune,
Dune.
and
So
so
wait,
we have extremes because we watched Doom and we watched the Carnage movie, the Venom
yeah.
Carnage
Oh,
movie,
that was so
which
bad.
was really bad.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, because Danny's like super nice with me, and we watch like I think I've watched all the superhero movies, all of
But I
them.
enjoy them.
Yeah, no, because some of them are like good. Like if I know that they're Marvel. I know that there's people that go like, oh, Marvel, and they
No, but
puke.
I like them.
But but for me, it's like kind of different. I feel it's kind of cool to watch superhero movies because for the longest time they were lame, and everyone that liked superheroes or superhero movies, it was lame.
But I
And
remember that we saw the Joker, for example, and that was super
oh,
good.
right. Yeah, but that's a like good movie.
Yeah.
Period. Like that almost has nothing to do. I mean, yeah, it is the story of the Joker, but it's just
It's a good movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has. There's
Oh,
no
but
heroes.
Carnage?
Oh,
No,
Carnage
it
is
was
terrible. Yeah,
terrible.
Carnage is absolutely
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, I felt bad for making you watch that.
No, it was fine. I mean,
No,
we
no,
ate
but
popcorn, so
yeah, but no, but but it was bad. I was falling asleep
yeah.
at a moment
Oh,
at
you
one
were.
moment.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was terrible. And we watched Dune. We didn't go to the theater. I'm not gonna say we
No, but you cannot say that.
no. For I would never say that we pirated. I would never say that.
So don't say it.
No, so I would never say that. Um, but and I am an '80s child, so I remember my brother loving this book. My brother was the one who read the book. My brother was the one who made me watch, or not made me, but I know I ended up watching the Lynch movie with him, and that movie messed me up. I remember when I was a kid. It was really weird. I didn't know why I found it scary. I have a couple of scenes in my brain still because I never watched it again. And I know that they recently put out a remastered whatever copy of that movie. The 80. What year is that movie? 80,
Do you want me to Google it?
84? Is it Dune? The original Dune? No, it can't be 84. Is it 84?
Wait.
89? maybe.
84.
Yeah,
Yeah.
84. Woof. That's crazy. Anyways, so I know I watched that when I was very young. There is a particular scene um, with the Baron, I feel,
But are you
that
gonna spoil
no, no, no,
something?
no. I mean, you
Okay.
can't spoil a book or you can't spoil a movie
Yeah,
that
no,
has
but I thought that you were
like
gonna
30 years old.
no, but that you were gonna do like the relationship with
Oh,
the
no, no,
new
no.
movie, but
Right.
yeah.
So I remember that movie scared the shit out of me. And but I've never watched it again. I have to watch it again. Um I don't think I know that much, from the Dune sort of universe. Um I do love Blade Runner. I do think the Villeneuve Blade Runner was actually amazing, I thought. I don't know if people what people thought about that one, but I actually really liked it. Um this one I think we both, cuz I didn't say anything to Danny cuz I think that's super exciting when Danny doesn't know anything about a movie and she'll just give you like a super blank slate,
Which is
like
like
yeah,
all
it's
the
like
time that I
right, but
watch a movie because I don't know anything
right,
about
but it's super
movies.
cool because if you know nothing about Star Wars, like you can be like, "Oh, okay, this is Star Wars." Like
Yeah.
and you can say, "Wow, this was super lame or super confusing or whatever." But it's always you can always count that it's going to be on it being like super honest, which is something that I really enjoy, like your honest take on things. So, with Dune I didn't say anything, but there's a ton of like I would say good exposition. Visually, it's
Yeah.
incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, like the art of the movie is
Yeah,
really
yeah, the
good.
design is just
Yeah.
it's impeccable. It's just absolutely
And like
brilliant.
every frame, we were talking about that, like that every frame is like
Yeah, like
uh
concept art.
yeah.
It just feels like a
No, no,
storyboard,
no,
like
but
beautiful
we were
concept art.
talking about the frames looking as a National Geographic movie
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
We also
it's
see
like
yeah. It almost feels like a National Geographic cover.
yeah.
There's a bunch of sequences and um specific shots that are just so well designed. It's almost like you could pause that movie every single within any frame, and you could do studies,
Yeah.
one like beautiful studies of composition and design. It's really quite remarkable, I feel. But I think that it's only going to be a great movie
Until
if,
the second
yeah,
one.
yeah, if the second part just kind of ties everything together.
Yeah.
Because as a movie, as a sole standing movie, I mean, I'm trying to think of parts, you know.
No, but don't spoil it.
No, 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 no. Of movies that have parts that where you know that you were watching the first part of something. I can only think of like Harry Potter, just those last two
But the
movies.
thing is that Harry Potter had story, like a story in the movie, like a bigger story in all the movies together, but
Right,
it had
right.
like something happening. But
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
thing with
So you
Dune.
could probably cling on to the bigger story, and you don't need that much in the last movie. But I think that that one was like okay. Yeah, I was never like a huge Harry Potter fan, but I enjoyed the movies. I never read the books, but I actually enjoyed quite a bit the movies.
Yeah, I think they're good.
Um, but what else? Like even in the Star Wars, like the new trilogy, which is I mean, it's bad. I'm actually not as super critical as everyone else is. But even those movies, I feel I don't know. I feel that I don't know that they like every movie has like stands by itself as a movie. Yeah, with Dune, it's just very hard to say, yeah, as a movie
Yeah.
because this was a big bet. I mean, they didn't know if they were going to make the second part, so it was insane to do
Yeah,
a movie this way.
that's the thing that as a single movie, it doesn't kind of
Right,
work.
or for example, Lord of the Rings, because that I think you've never watched it, because Danny's not super high into like fantasy, like medieval fantasy. I don't think you like that much.
But because I haven't seen it, I don't know if I
Yeah,
would
but I
like
showed you
it
like
or
Game
not.
of Thrones. You never liked it, so there is precedent for me to say that I don't think you would like Lord of the Rings, to be
Yeah.
honest. But yeah, where Lord of the Rings stops, for example, stops really well.
Yeah.
You know that you're like in the middle of something, but not really in the middle of something.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they have a single story that they're telling in the movie and a bigger story that they're telling if you want to see all the
Right, right,
movies.
right.
But the thing is that with Dune, I think that they're assuming that you're gonna see the second movie.
Yeah, which is crazy again because that movie, like this movie had to do well for them to do the second movie. They're going to do the second movie now. Now we know. But it was crazy that they made that bet. I mean,
Yeah.
even in this kind of, post pandemic scenario where, you're depending on people going to the movies, when even like this movie had like it was launched on HBO also. So that's so crazy. It's so crazy. So again, visually loved the movie. Absolutely brilliant. I think that dude is brilliant. Like cinematography is just I don't know. It just can't be better. But as a movie, like as the single experience, I don't know. I think like when it finished, we were like, "What?
Yeah.
Not here. You're not gonna
Yeah.
cut it here." It just felt weird. I don't know.
Yeah. So when we were asking about their favorite movies,
Right.
they said, I remember a movie that inspired me to start painting, and it is New York Stories from 1989.
New York Stories.
Have you seen it? I haven't.
I don't know.
I
Is
mean, I'm
that a
gonna say I haven't to the majority, so
is that a
I'm gonna
Woody Allen
Google it.
movie?
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe New York Stories.
So it says, yeah, Woody Allen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good. Yeah. How
Oh, and
have we already decided how we feel about Woody Allen? Because I like Woody Allen. Is this? I mean, I know that this is like a bigger argument where we would argue if we can separate the work from the person. With incredibly talented people, I can make an effort. But I don't know how we feel about that. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Can you look at this? What does it make you think about?
Yeah, it looks like the Arconia.
Yeah. The only murders in the building intro, not
Only
the Arconia.
Well, yeah, yeah. I actually went to. Have you guys watched that series, that new series with Steve Martin and Martin Short? Three Amigos, by the way, that was an amazing movie when I was growing up. Incredible. Um, but it mixed everything that Danny likes in a movie. I feel.
Mm,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
In mm, I don't know. They're saying, "Hey guys, let me recommend you A La Triste. It's a historical movie in the times of Velázquez. Cada
Wow.
escena es como una pintura y sale Vigo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, el de
Sí.
Señor de los Anillos.
It's very accurate and beautiful. It's free on YouTube. Just search A La Triste. It's in Spanish with subtitles in English.
Ay, súper. Muchas gracias.
They're saying E.T.
Yeah, yeah. E.T. was
Yeah, I
good.
like it. No County for Old Men.
Oh, that's an amazing movie.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta, because we haven't done like the Fargo. Danny hasn't watched Fargo. We have to watch that.
Fargo, but
That's a mini series and that's also a movie. I don't think you've watched it. It's incredible. You would love that movie. I'm positive.
we should give it a try. I mean, we're looking for a good series to watch. So,
Yeah, but Fargo, I think it's brilliant the first season and then it's not so great.
they're saying The Plague Dogs.
I don't know that movie.
¿Sí?
Plague?
Plague, yeah.
Como plaga?
Sí.
Sí, Plague.
They're saying another Cinderella story. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't think it's that good, but you do you.
¿Cuál la de Camila Cabello?
No, si es esa, ¿no es una que es vieja?
Another Cinderella Story? No, no sé. Ahorita no hay una.
Es esta. Es con Selena Gómez.
Ah, también con Selena.
Sí.
Oh yeah.
Pero Selena chiquita.
No, but the one that we are watching has Selena Gomez also. So it bridged the gap. Just just so Danny's a fan of Selena and
No,
I'm a fan of Steve Martin.
I'm not a fan of Selena. I think I haven't
So
seen or
we're covering all our bases.
they're saying Caroline,
Coraline, yeah, that's amazing.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I think
Yeah,
that's good.
that's a
Yeah.
good movie. I haven't watched it in a bit. I watched it a couple of times years ago, but I haven't watched it in a bit. I have
Okay.
to.
Oops, sorry. You have to?
Yeah, I have to watch it again. I showed you Mother the other day,
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't like, but I actually like it. What did you think?
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it was good. Tale of Two Sisters. I haven't seen that.
No, me neither.
Oh, this one is good. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Yeah, yeah,
Nest.
yeah. That's classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Both book and movie.
They're saying Little Sims is on the Carnage soundtrack, so Carnage is good movie in my book.
What
I
is that song?
I think it's an artist, not a song. Little Sims?
Okay, I don't even.
Yeah, she's a British rapper.
Yeah, but what does she sing for
Mm,
that movie? I forget. Like that movie was terrible, to
wait.
be honest. Like it was just super super forgettable.
Let There Be Carnage?
Oh, so the so the theme of the movie.
Yeah. No, wait, what? Because I search Little Sims Carnage and it says Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, that's the
But
title of the
then,
movie.
yeah, but then it says music by Marco Beltrami. So, where's Little Sims? Like,
Just put song in there, or maybe whomever just suggested it, they probably know what song was there.
no, I don't know. They're also saying, let me see. Mm, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I watched them all, and I didn't read the books. I have to be honest. I'd never read the Game of Thrones books. Never read Tolkien either. But I did enjoy the movies for sure. I know I watched all of those in the theater. I thought they were awesome.
They're saying Game of Thrones is overrated. Yeah, I would say that, but I don't know if Nicolas would
Yeah,
be
we can
mad at
we
me.
can stop the we can
The
stop the
stream.
stream short. Thank you.
Mm,
It just ended horribly, but there's a couple of seasons in there that are just perfect. I
but I
feel.
didn't get to the end. I mean, I
No,
didn't
no.
liked it.
I showed you like 3 seasons
Yeah.
maybe, which are honestly they're the good seasons also.
But it was also because I was like binging the series. Because remember that there
Right.
was a new season, and you were like, if you want to watch it with me, you have to watch every
Well,
single season.
well,
So I was like
it
day and night, and I was like, no, I'm
yeah.
tired. I really don't like it that much.
Yeah,
But
but
maybe
you
I
wouldn't
could
have
give it.
felt it. It wouldn't have meant like if you have to binge Jane the Virgin, you're like hell yes.
I think that's good. Have you seen Jane the Virgin?
Yeah.
And why are you throwing me under the bus
What? I'm just
with
saying
everything?
something that you like.
No, and you said that I was a fan of Selena.
Well, you're kind of a fan,
Of
or at least you
what?
grew up, or at least you grew up.
No, I didn't watch anything with Selena.
No,
No.
some songs.
Mm,
Do you have any Selena song that's like? Can you hum 3 Selena songs?
Love You Like a Love Song.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Because that's like 3 more than I can do. So
yeah.
kill them with kindness.
Yeah. mm, I think there's a song that's called Rare
Mm-hmm.
that it's new. So yeah,
That it's new. Okay, so there we go. I think
like
my
kind of new. I don't know.
right. And she was in a commercial of for something for hair.
Pantene.
So see, you know so many things, so many
Yes,
much
so
more
now
things than I
I'm a
know about
fan.
her. I know.
No, but she had good acting in Only Murders in a Building.
Do you follow her on Instagram?
No,
No.
no, I don't. Maybe
Okay.
you. I mean, you follow
No, no, I don't follow.
4,000.
I bet I don't follow like super famous people. No.
Do you follow Messi?
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
do. Yeah.
But you know, aside from
Oh
football
yeah.
players, aside from football players,
Mhm. Mm, so Rosalind says, "I love the 2013 movie Prisoners, directed by Denis. I don't know how to pronounce. Villen.
Villeneuve,
Yeah.
el de Dune.
Uh, a dark move, but a surprise ending. Movies don't surprise you anymore. They tell the
No.
whole movie in the trailers. Yeah, that's true. We were talking about that, and also series. Remember
Yeah,
when we
it's a shame.
yeah, when we're watching Netflix, we try to see like the trailer of a series or a movie, and they tell all the story. Like, why are you gonna watch the whole series if you have all the summary here? It's yeah.
I watched at the airplane at the flight back. I watched the M Night the new movie. Old? Is it Old or Beach? I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Old. And oh my god, I think that movie. I'm gonna be honest because I think I've watched like tons of his movies, but I think that movie wasn't as bad at the beginning. You know, it's actually pretty tense. It's actually kind of it has like some really kind of intense moments that are kind of cool. But I don't know if he's just because he has to do this thing where there's always like a twist at the end, or the ending becomes like super super important because he's part of that moment where all the movies were doing that, like Usual Suspects. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a moment in the 90s, like late 90s, where we got Usual Suspects, we got 12 Monkeys, we got Sixth Sense, and somehow you expected that every single movie had to have a twist and it was like super interesting and super awesome, like that aha moment in the end. And this dude, I don't know, I think he believes that all of his movies need that, and I don't know if like this movie didn't need that. This movie didn't need that kind of crappy ending. I don't know. Cuz it had obviously like a bad ending, but yeah, I watched that one at the airplane. What did I watch? I always watch movies that are stupid in airplanes. I watched that. I watched the Ryan Reynolds, the Guy movie. So I thought that was funny. I thought that was good. You know, perfect airplane, perfect airplane movie. Um, you know what happened on one of the rides. I forget which plane ride, but I had never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I had never watched it, and I had always heard it was like funny as hell. But I always thought, this is probably one of those dumb kind of comedies. I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch this. I had no idea, no notion of what that um, series was, and oh my god, it is so fucking funny. It is like literally like my type of humor. It is so stupid, so ignorant. It is so good. I loved it. I was kicking myself for not. I mean, kicking myself, but also like super excited because I was like, oh, there's so much. You know, I have so many of these episodes to watch. Like, this is amazing.
They're saying With Neil and I, best movie ever made.
Which one?
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. So
What is it again, Danny?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing okay.
No, who
So
cares? No, it doesn't matter.
with nail, I don't know, like
How do you
with,
spell it?
como si fuera con y uña pegado.
With nail
With nail, yeah,
and
and
I?
I.
Oh, what is that movie?
Mm, they're saying Woody Allen, Nick Nolte,
Nick
and
Nolte?
Yeah, and Liet says, I can't stand Woody Allen.
I know it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Dreams, mm, Vanilla Sky,
It's
Ocean Waves.
Ocean Waves.
They're saying it's an underrated Ghibli film.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that one.
Camila Ogorman dice Mayor of Easttown, serie corta, muy buena. I murders, dice en paréntesis.
Ya, Danny invested.
Oye, pero no, Nicolás, toca cortar esto. O sea,
No, pero es
pero
que
tú me estás haciendo sonar fatal.
no, 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 porque que te guste eso no quiere decir que seas una persona,
Pues
una
dijiste que
psicópata.
tenía yo que comer antes que tú.
Pues es para mi propia seguridad, pero de resto confío en ti 100%. De
Mm,
resto.
dicen Spider-Man 2 y Hair son mis favoritas.
Oh, um, I showed Danny Her also. Sí, Her es increíble. ¿Te acuerdas? Her.
Sí.
Me fascina esa peli también a mí.
Nicolás, how do you varnish carnage? Yeah.
Barney, Carnage.
How do you varnish these paintings and keep the matte finish?
So, if I want like a matte finish, which is very important, I guess, when, for example, I'm compressing midtones, I don't want it to be shiny. I don't want it to be glossy. Sometimes I do. That shiny or glossy doesn't mean it's a good or bad thing. So I need to be clear about that. Sometimes you want that bit of saturation to work, especially with me, for example, when I'm trying things out in terms of saturation. I do want that to be exhibited in the final painting. I don't want it. I don't want to be trying. What was it trying? This horrible color, cobalt teal. I don't want to be using cobalt teal and then finding a way so that the final painting is doesn't exhibit it in any way. So if there is a color that I use, if the purpose of the exercise was to push an aspect of painting, particularly an aspect of painting that has to do with saturation, then yeah, I'm gonna varnish it, and the way I varnish it is by just giving it like a thin, very thin layer of liquid. Very thin layer of liquid. Again, terrible practice, but that's how I do it. And if I don't, I'll use a thin layer of liquid, but I'll also put wax, a wax, synthetic wax that is used on marble or
Marble
on
floor.
marble flooring. That's tough. That's a tough one to say. On marble flooring, on stone flooring, they use this kind of synthetic wax, and I've used that for years, and I think it works really well. So that'll make the painting super matte, and again, it's like a really nice alternative, I feel. So yeah, so those are my two ways. None of them are traditional at all. So I'll use liquid, which is not really a varnish, and with which you're not supposed to varnish a painting. And the reason is simple, because liquid actually transforms when you put it down. So if you put a thin layer on top of your painting and it dries, you can't, if you want to lift it, let's say 100 years from now, because it has yellowed, you can't really lift it with any sort of benign solvent, not so strong solvent. And that's important, because if you use one of those solvents that is kind of gentle, you won't be picking paint up. But if you use a super strong solvent, which is what you would need to use, and I hope I'm explaining myself well, what you would need to use in order to lift that liquid, you would probably, need to use like paint thinner, and that would just absolutely kill your painting. So that's a choice, right? That's quite a commitment and quite a choice. But I've made my choice. I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, and again, I've always thought that in painting, there's no really right or wrong. There's just variables that are, you have to deal with, and you have to be aware of them. You have to, 100%. You have to be aware of them. And if you know what's going to happen, and if knowing what's going to happen, you feel that that's the best choice for your painting, then by all means, do it. Do it. I think that contemporary painting has given us that, not that liberty. I don't want to make it sound like this is an unearned liberty, but it has given us that kind of peace of mind that tells us, hey, you can do this. Like, you're not attached to this, um, older idea, older definition of painting. You're not. We're not really. That's how paintings were painted for, millennia, but that doesn't mean that that's how paintings should be painted all the time. Like, we can question those things, and we can actually say, this is great, but this doesn't work for me. I want something different for my painting. It's not a sin to say those things. Not at all. Painting has advanced wonderfully. There's been amazing steps that painting has taken over, the course of history, with people that said, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be one of those people because I'm not doing really anything significant, but with people saying, hey, I don't want to do things the way they were done before. Like, I can respect the way paintings were done before, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to repeat the same painting. I'm going to repeat the same manner of execution, and I'm going to follow exactly the same lessons, because at some point you have to question if what you want is to perpetuate like an idea of painting, if that's your job. Like, if you were put on this earth to just keep painting like people have been painting for centuries, like, that's your job, that's it. I just have to, I'm like a servant of painting. um I don't feel that way, for sure. I don't. I feel that it is far more interesting and far more engaging, at least for me, to find the way to figure out the way I would paint, and I would, try to make every variable in my painting sort of come together. The way I paint, the substrate, on top of which I paint, the manner in which I put paint down, my subject matter, everything, the way I feel about painting. When you're able to just put all of those variables together, that's what makes not a great, I was going to say a great painting, but I don't mean to say that you're suddenly awarded this ability to call your painting great just because you make all those things meet. No, but you make a solid painting. You make something that makes sense. I feel that it just, it makes sense with who you are, with how you feel about painting. And I feel that that's my job. That's my responsibility with myself, to find those things, and not just to say, yeah, those things already exist. I just have to accommodate myself to them. I just have to paint like Rembrandt did, or like Bouguereau did, or like any one of these amazing painters did. No, no, no. That's how they painted. Why am I gonna think that my life has to be thrown away just trying to echo how they painted? Like, they went through great efforts um to try to find their own voice. Why would I not learn that from them? That their effort can be echoed by my experience. So yeah. So I hope that the decisions that I make are not um are not confused um by a pedantic decision to be capricious. Hopefully that made sense.
They're saying with Neil and I is with Richard E. Grant, made in 1986, about two unemployed actors who take a vacation from London to the country. Very dark comedy, set in the late
Lat.
late, late 60s.
Cool, cool. I wasn't familiar with that one. I'll definitely look it up.
And they're saying another surprise movie is We Are What We Are. I cannot spoil this, but it's a good movie.
Okay, okay.
Mm, Hey, Nicolás, no sé por qué me recuerda tanto a Fortuny y a Mancini tu manera de pintar.
No, pero no me
¿Te
lance
influ
semejantes piropos. Obviamente no le llego ni al tobillo a ellos y nunca tendré la capacidad que ellos tenían. Pero muchas
Pero
gracias,
espera, es que era una
pero
pregunta.
no.
Pero era una pregunta,
Sí,
dice.
pero no lo puedo dejar que diga eso sin yo. O sea, es involuntario tener que reaccionar como gracias, pero no, obvio no.
Dice, ¿te influenciaron de alguna manera?
Sí, claro,
You can
monstruos.
uh, res- you can answer in English or Spanish, by the way.
Thank you. ¿Quién era? ¿Cómo se llama la persona?
Irving
Discúlpame.
Torres.
¿Qué hubo, Irving? ¿Cómo va Irving? Um, so Irving was asking if that my painting reminds him of Antonio Mancini or Mariano Fortuny, and I was saying thank you, but come on, like that's way. Those are two way big of names to be throwing around. My name. Um, I don't feel I'm ever gonna be I don't know, the third of the painters that they were. So they're enormous, and he was just asking if I've been influenced by them, and yes, very much so, very much so. I absolutely adore Mariano Fortuny. I think he is one of the best painters in painting history. Period. No asterisk, no nothing needed when I say that. I think he was an absolute genius, one of the virtuosos of painting, which means one of these young people that were just geniuses right from the start. Not every single painting career it tells that story. There's a lot of painters that were really kind of crappy at the beginning and they just got better. But I feel like people like Van Dyke, for example, or people like Fortuny, they are geniuses right from the start. They are, different from every single person out there, and I feel that I've always adored their work. For example, both Van Dyke's and Fortuny. But I've said it. I think I've said it before. But I went to a. I was lucky enough to be in Barcelona when they did a retrospective. This was way before the retrospective that they did in Madrid a couple of years ago of Mariano Fortuny. And this was the first retrospective, I feel. I think I'm not mistaken. This was the first retrospective that they did of Fortuny. Uh, so it was a very special occasion. It just felt huge, and this is the only exhibit that I cried. I usually don't cry. I mean, I cry like every single human being cries, but I usually, when I'm moved by art, sometimes I'm just overwhelmed, but I don't usually cry. But when I saw that Fortuny show, oh my god, yeah, it was tears. It was just too much. It was too much of everything that I love about painting in one person, that I just felt this is, it's one of those things that make you believe that human beings are just incredible. We have the potential to be, these incredible examples of showcasing our humanity. And that doesn't make us perfect. I mean, as a human being, as a person, I don't know how Fortuny, was. I've read a bit about him, but I don't know if he was this incredible human being. Because if you ask me, I'm gonna always pick a good human being over an idiot that's talented. So, if you told me that somebody who I loved was just an absolute, objectively, not just like nowadays where we're just a little too judgy about people, but if you were to tell me that somebody was just objectively an asshole, just an absolute asshole, like it would hurt me a lot, but I would be able to let go of that person. I always just say, there's enough talented people out there for us to be venerating somebody who's an idiot. So, um, but but not knowing anything about Fortuny, well, not anything, but not knowing that much about Fortuny's life, I'm still compelled to say like, wow, he's just this amazing, one of the best examples of what can be achieved through painting. I feel, he is that great of a painter. So yeah, for sure, those two. Mancini was a little different. Mancini was incredible when he was younger, and I feel that by the end, and this is not me just saying this, this is sort of kind of documented. He was struggling with mental health issues, um, and I think that shows in him being just so stubborn about that use of his technique. I forget what it was called. Um, Danny? Could you search for Mariano Fortuna? No, Antonio Mancini, Mancini, Antonio Mancini, and James Gurney, because I think James Gurney does a blog post about him, and James Gurney, I think, mentions what the reticle that he used, what the gridding he used was called.
Mm, side size painting?
No, it was side size, but he used
Because he says used a unique grid system for
right.
side size
Yeah, but
painting.
it's like sphericola or
Oh,
something like that.
graticola.
Graticola.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So that's what he used, and it was it was so strange. Like he had no need to use any of that, and he used it. And I don't know, he just became obsessed with using that. And super interesting. I mean, in terms of painting, that's like it's so interesting to see him so obsessed about um committing to the use of that. But I just feel that I don't know, there was something off about his paintings. Um and that decision, that very, again, kind of stubborn decision to just commit to that manner of working, it was just kind of strange, I feel.
Iván dice, yo uso liquid en tres formas o en las tres presentaciones que lo he conseguido. El normal, que es como espeso,
Sí,
el gel, que es como una miel,
sí,
y el impasto que infla la pintura. Es de lo mejor.
sí, sí, sí. El que dicen que es como para detalle, Iván, es ese que está como disuelto. Realmente es como un liquid disuelto. Y el otro también, el otro es mucho más denso. Yo, por ejemplo, tengo un tubo acá, Linda, ese paquete negro que nunca he abierto,
¿Lo
que es
abro?
como una bolsa negra.
A ver.
No, no, eso es eso. Eso es ese medio, es como un
¿Y no
medio
lo abrimos
alquídico.
por fin?
No, no,
Bueno.
no lo usaría mucho, la verdad, pero
Um, so when we were talking about movies, they
yeah, yeah,
said,
yeah.
have you ever seen Brazil?
Yeah,
1984. That movie is
yeah.
a classic.
Oh yeah, absolute classic. It's amazing.
Mm,
Yeah, anyone who likes Blade Runner, I feel has to watch Brazil.
have you seen the new Boba Fett trailer?
Oh, I did. It's gonna be like mafioso-ish, like soprano-ish. Feels like it's so cool.
Mm, no, so I'm trying to look for more questions or movie recommendations, but I don't see
There's a
any.
there's a hot toy. I know that sounds weird, but Hot Toys is like a brand. There's a hot toy of Boba Fett that is kind of like that new series Boba Fett, where he's like a little chunkier, a little older. He doesn't quite fit into his armor, that I absolutely love. And they're selling that with the Tusken Raider. When he kind of well, not disguises as a Tusken Raider, but that he has that outfit when he just beats the shit out of the stormtroopers. And that's amazing. But I already have a Boba Fett that I really like,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's a
like, I'm
good
fine
one.
with that one. Like, I don't want like 100 Boba Fetts in my collection. Like, I don't feel that super super connected. Like my brother, I know, loves Boba Fett, but I don't feel that super super connected with that character to feel like I need 100 of them or something like that.
Mm, they were saying, I'm excited for Morbius and the new Batman.
It looked good, didn't it? That Morbius trailer, doesn't it? Didn't suck. I mean, it didn't suck. I'll say that. I don't know if it looked good because I've lost a little bit of faith on the Sony Marvel side of the movies with that dumb ass Carnage movie. But it did look good. I was showing it to Samu the other day. Ese fue el que vimos en el que puse en la tele. ¿Te acuerdas que le dije a Samu
Sí.
que se había visto el tráiler?
Sí, es que si no te respondo de unas porque estoy
No, no,
tratando
no,
de
tranqui.
buscar, o sea, estoy tratando de escucharte y leer,
No, no, no,
como
perfecto,
mirando a ver si
perfecto.
veo de preguntitas. Mm, I don't want to get too real on the subject of ghosts, but do you think you paint to leave something behind?
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, there's a lot of people that see painting as, you know, that like the Dorian Grayish way of seeing painting. It's just because you are not eternal, you kind of find a vehicle that can help you, in some way, um, fight against the nature of time. Maybe I don't see it that way. I don't see it. I don't see it at all that way. So I just I think painting is for me. You can always like proceed everything I say by saying for me, but for me, painting is really exciting when it's liberated from all those sort of historical preconceived notions of what paintings should answer to or what paintings should be.
Eh, do you have a go-to method for mounting your works on paper for hanging or framing?
Not really. Because I've never done it, to be honest. I don't have anything of mine on paper. Uh, but what would I do? Let's think about it, Danny. Danny, would it bother you if it was under glass? I don't think it would bother me that
No.
much, to be honest, because we have a couple of things that, drawings that have to be under glass, and it's never bothered me.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not
my,
because
yes.
there's sorry,
No, no,
there's
no, go
some
ahead.
people that are against framing, but I'm not.
Right. No, no, no,
Not at
no.
all.
I'd be totally fine with but I think both of us would be. If something looks good on the stretchers and you just hang it,
Yeah.
I think we're fine with that too.
Or
Um
if you want to take one of the paintings of our project and just use clips.
oh, I've
Have you
seen yeah,
seen like
yeah, yeah.
paper clips? That's
Yeah.
fine too.
Yeah, I've seen people that buy the paintings and they just, kind of pin them even like pin them to their wall because
Yeah.
they want them to feel close. They want that painting to be part of their everyday lives and to they want to feel close with the painting, look at the painting. It almost feels like more accessible that way to them. That's super cool, I feel. I mean, again, this doesn't have to be the way everyone does it, but if it works for you, that's awesome. um but I think all of those options are fine, even like mounting it on a board, like gluing it to a board. If you're not super scared of gluing something, which you shouldn't be, like that's totally fine. You can just buy a board that is kind of like the same dimensions and then just glue it on the on the board, and that's totally fine too.
Mm,
And then, once you've glued it on the board, you can buy a frame for it. You can just, if it's just a thicker board, you can mount it on that board and then just hang it as is. Perfect too. Totally depends on you.
so they're saying, "Hi Nico, somehow do you feel kind of insecure with your art skills or career path? Or are you the type of artist who doesn't overthink those questions? I love your work, by the way."
Oh, I don't think about that. Like I was gonna say, Danny, you should answer for me that. Like, how do you see me?
That you're insecure with your art skills?
No, how do you see? Like, how would you answer that question for me? How do you see me?
But which part? Because that's what I was saying.
No, no,
You were
no.
asking if you were insecure of
No, but
your
just
art
describe
skills.
me, regardless of the two options that they said. Like, how would you describe how I am with my work? I'm not putting you on the spot. It's just like, yeah,
I
you're
think
like,
you're
oh my
no, no,
god, what am
no.
I gonna?
I think you are. detached, but in a good way. I
Like
don't know if that
non-attached.
sounds, yeah, like because you're super into the work while you're doing it, like you're super into painting while you're painting, but after that, you're just fine with letting go the painting. Like, yeah, I think that, yeah, you're unattached to things. And the other part, they were asking, do you overthink the questions?
Do I overthink? Well, certain.
Like being insecure with your art skills? I don't think so. I mean, I think you are, like sometimes we talk about you feeling that you couldn't paint the way you wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's part of painting. I mean, like you have talked about this before, but like we never stop learning or wanting more from painting. So I think that you know that you have some, maybe I was gonna say flaws, but not flaws, but that maybe sometimes you don't achieve what you want, but you're not that, like that doesn't make you insecure about what you do, because you don't think about that. You're just like painting. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're in the moment and you just paint. I mean, if you think you're doing it right, you just paint. And if you think you're doing it wrong, you just keep painting. So, and I think that's super cool. So,
That
yeah,
was super cool answer. So
thank you.
she's
I don't know
taking
what to
she's
say.
taking a bow, by the way. Yeah. No, no,
mm,
no. I just thought that it's kind of weird when somebody asks you how you see yourself, because there's always going to be like a distorted sense of self, I guess. So that's why, I mean, you know me best than anyone. So I was like, okay, you could probably answer that for me.
yeah, but it's still super hard to describe,
Oh,
like to,
yeah.
yeah, like to try to put you into a category, like you
Category,
are,
see?
yeah, like you're this and this and that, because I also think that it varies with every painting,
Yeah, you're right.
because yeah, every process is different, but yeah. mm,
I'm looking at my daughter's bus, school bus,
in the
where it
map,
is. No, no, no,
yeah.
it's pretty far. It's pretty far. Because I asked Samu if she could go downstairs
If
and
he,
just, if he could go, I'm sorry, if
yeah.
he could go downstairs. So I'm also just keeping an eye on where my school's bus is. My
eh,
school's daughter's bus is.
te
Sí,
estás
no, 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 no
así me
pude.
sentí yo ahorita respondiendo lo tuyo.
Sí, sí,
Porque además
estuviste.
me preguntaste
pa-
cuando estaba leyendo otra pregunta.
sí.
Entonces tuve que leer
No,
rápido.
estabas haciendo malabarismo.
Sí, pero no,
No,
siento que
estuviste, no,
respondí
fue muy
bien.
chévere, fue muy
Sí,
chévere.
no,
Muchas
no
gracias por lo que diste.
molestes.
No joda.
No joda. Dicen, Nicolás, su merced pintaría con aerosoles, así sea por recocha.
Pero es que no sé. ¿Quién pregunta?
Eros.
Eros, ¿qué más Eros? Pero es que Eros no sé, entonces me siento todo como, me sentiría re bruto. Pues sí, si es como por molestar, pues todo bien, para no sentirme que le estoy gastando tampoco eh, los aerosoles a alguien. O compro algunos y ahí digo, bueno, pues ponerme a hacer algo en un muro así que no importe. Pero, uy, pero creo que me costaría resto, no sé por qué. O sea, como todo en la vida, me costaría un tiempo aprender, como acostumbrarme.
They're asking, do you ever miss painting at a large scale? Are there any paintings from your daily drawing project that you wish you still had or want to keep working on?
That I wish I'd start with that. That I wish that I still had. No. No, no, no. Like when when I say goodbye to them, I'm fine with just saying goodbye. Like that's just a cool way of almost like culminating that experience. Um, and what you ask is probably what a lot of people or most people ask about this project, and what most people are interested in, which is if I'm going to go back to doing larger work. I don't know. Again, I don't know I mean, I totally understand what you're getting with this, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't really know what larger, entails or larger means, but I've already committed to next year. I think not as part of every week because I think that would be tough to I think the pacing of that would be a little weird, but there were definitely going to be some weeks where we can dedicate to the making of a larger painting, and I'll probably start that painting with you guys. Then I'm probably gonna work on it for a little bit on my own time, and then a couple of weeks later we can get back to it, and you guys can see how much I've advanced, and I can speak about that, and then I can keep painting on like a separate area of the painting, and we could do that. And I feel that process is going to also be super cool because it's going to feel very, very different from the paintings that we've done for the project. So I think that's going to be exciting.
Camila Ogorman said, that's because he's interested in the process, not in the result, I think. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say when I was trying to describe your painting practice. So, yeah. Mm, and they're saying, sometimes I think about images in my head and they are perfect, so I don't paint them because I think I have nothing better to add. Does this happen to you?
Um, that's kind of that's a kind of weird but very abstract way of explaining that. Um, it may even sound like a cop out to be. I mean, I'm not throwing shade at what you said or making any judgment, but because I totally get it. It's like, what can I add by painting it? But the thing is, you know what? I just don't know if I think of images like I think in images. I think in sort of that's why I think I call the paintings exercises. I think in terms of challenges, maybe, which is kind of cool. Something becoming like a challenging moment or an effort. Um, to me, that's a really kind of healthy way of understanding my own painting. I feel, um, and I think it separates the resulting painting from having to compete with a preconceived notion of what that painting was supposed to look like or supposed to be. Um, so so I guess that the way I liberate myself from that weight is by saying, yeah, these are not supposed to challenge each other. These are not supposed to be kind of part of the same universe, I feel. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, in a if I have to answer in a very sort of succinct way, I would just say that I just don't think in images. So I don't think that I don't I don't visualize a painting and then feel that my job is to materialize that through paint. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's I'd be lying if I told you that I did paint that way.
Mm, hay dos personas que preguntaron que si has hecho murales o has
No,
pensado en hacer pintura mural. Yo sé que ya hablamos de esto hace unos días, pero
sí,
pues
sí, no, de murales, no, nunca y se me da súper chévere. Y Camila me dice que en Argentina lo pagan súper bien, entonces
sí.
me toca irme a Argentina a hacer un poco de murales.
Pues
Si me
quién sabe
los,
si te qué tal te saldrían. No estoy dudando de ti,
pues ya
pero
lo hiciste. Con ese
no porque
comentario,
estabas hablando de cómo no sabes manejar el aerosol.
pues sí, pero pues,
Entonces,
pues me puedes tener fe y decir,
¿cómo
yo
así?
sé que
Yo
así no
sería la
sepas,
primera allá apoyándote
pues allá por viajar,
con
como
Gatorade. Ay, sobre
Eh,
todo, Nicolás. Tú me estás pintando hoy como
No, no, es que hoy duramos mucho tiempo sin ver a las personas, Lindita, entonces,
sin ver a las personas.
sin interactuar. Entonces
Toca montármela.
toca recordarles de quiénes somos o
O
quién
sea, tú
eres,
recuerdas,
quién eres.
tú hablas por mí,
Victimizarme yo
sí,
nuevamente
exacto.
y
Y
demonizarte.
mancharme a mí, sí. Nicolás. Em, No, estoy buscando más preguntas. Por ahora no veo. Mm,
So I'll tell you the problem, I guess, that I got into, which was that I I made that bigger, and I really love how loose it is, and I don't want to overwork this painting. I just noticed that there's something very beautiful and kind of loose that I really like about it. With my son and daughter, whenever I feel that they are in the painting, like it'll prompt me to say this is enough. It's so hard to get a sense of a human being in a painting that when you get it, like when it's there, it's something that I'm just, if I got there, and even if it's premature, even if it feels like it shouldn't have happened that quickly, I always feel like it doesn't matter. Like, fine, if it happened this quickly, like I'll take it because it is such a, I'm not going to say achievement because it has nothing to do with it being an achievement. But to me, it is such a wonderful place to sort of experience through painting. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That for me, that's more valuable than the actual painting itself, if that makes sense. So if I'm able to sense Samu in here very quickly, that I'm like, great, this is incredible. Like this is where I wanted to get to. I didn't want to do a painting. I wanted to do a painting of him. I wanted a painting to remind me of him for a little bit, for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is, 10 hours, 100 hours, doesn't matter. So, um, so I think there's something beautiful about getting there. And even though I had to compromise a ton of things, like I know all the drawing stuff that's off. Like, nobody would have to point that out. I know that, the space between um, his portrait and his hands has been, really scrunched up, which meant that I was in a lot of trouble because now I have to deal with all this space almost like as an abstract shape because none of these things are going to match. None of them. His armpits are never going to match. His what would be his trapezius and his shoulders are never going to match to the gesture that seems to be um, sort of suggested by the positioning of the hands. So I figured, you know what? It's not going to work. Let's make it not work. So let's make it evident that it's not supposed to work. So my hands were going to be at some point. I wanted them to be the focal point. I wanted them to be bigger in context. I wanted it to be not symmetrical, but I wanted it to be, or at least to feel like there was an underlying symmetry here. So I offset them just a little bit, just to the left, just to make the painting, I would say, annoyingly off, just a little bit off. That makes it kind of feel, um, I don't know, human, I guess. So, that tiny bit of imperfect quality that makes it seem human. So I did that, but then I was noticing, oh God, now I have all these like little spaces to solve. And instead of just going for because I was struggling with these in the last couple of minutes, um, instead of going for the sleeves, for the actual modeling of the sleeve and trying to find the arm underneath the sleeve, I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, the painting does not live there. So it doesn't really matter if this is going to match up. I just need to make it work as a painting. And that's why you saw me start to make a little bit of these places kind of looser, more abstract, some soft edges that kind of vanish and then reappear in some areas. Because if I tried to connect things, they wouldn't connect. So I need to be intelligent about how I shape my painting in that sense. And I don't need to put elements here pointing at the fact that these things are never going to make sense. So, so I started just kind of scribbling. I love to do this. This is very, drawing over painting. I have like a squiggly, Cy Twombly ish scribble, to me. It's a kind of natural way I sort of scribble. I think I do this quite a bit, like this kind of um, curvy, vertical repeating pattern. I've tried other things. I can do like a scratch also, but I've recognized that in abstract terms, when I let my hand go, there's like a vertical kind of gesture that I follow that I actually like. I actually really really like. When it becomes super evident, that's when I say, okay, just don't make it so easy. Like, don't give it away so easily. Um, but I like to showcase it at some points, and I guess that I went to that to try to help me kind of bridge the gap between this hopefully soulfully painted, very simple portrait and a very abstract, area that is meant to connect with another moment. And I thought of painting hands, like painting the crap out of these hands. But if I did, they would be so overpowering. Hands can be so overpowering. There's such a beautiful vehicle of expression that if you kind of give them that power, if you grant them that power, oh, they can totally eat up your painting. And if you paint like kick-ass hands and you really put a ton of effort into painting those hands and they work, woof, your painting is going to look powerful for sure. Like if you can kill it painting hands, that's absolutely awesome. But don't just paint hands because you can, because that's, who cares about that? Um, Hands are like anything else. It's like saying, hey, I kick ass painting, I don't know, like a curling um corner of the mouth. So I don't know. It just sounds arbitrary. So I thought, no, let me just make it about color and just concentrate on shapes. Maybe those little accents that separate those shapes. And that's about it. Make the painting about those things. And and that's totally fine. Um I think my daughter is here, so Samu has to run down and get her. But yeah, I think somebody was asking if this would be like a painting that I envisioned and that I was able to execute. Not at all. Not at all. Like I I thought of this painting as something that was completely different. I thought that I was going to control my values a lot more here, which means that the accents here. Esa no era Fer, ¿no? No. Ah, bueno. I think the accents here are not even close to what I thought I was going to be able to do. I thought this was all going to be far more compressed, far more compressed, and I had like a very kind of cheeky. I wanted like a cheeky painting that was eventually going to have a focus on the hands, and I didn't. I don't know. I wasn't able to do it. Maybe it's because I saw myself painting Samu, and I I don't know. I was able to get to an essence of who he is right now with very kind of dirty, simple color marks. They're very fresh. So I'm amazed at how sometimes paint that is almost like thrown, on the surface can somehow configure something that is so important to you, so soulful. Again, this is not me. I'm not speaking about my ability. I think that paint can do that. So when I saw that, I was like super, super happy, and it probably shifted all the priorities of the painting. And I was like, yeah, let's just keep that. I think that that's something super beautiful. And then, like I said, the problem was trying to link everything together. I used what is that brand? Under Armour, I feel, whatever. That logo to just, as a nice kind of graphic, break. Honestly, it doesn't matter as a logo. It's just a shape. I really enjoyed it as a shape. And I think it gives you, it provides you a moment where you go 1, 2, 3 instead of being 1, 2, 1, 2, because I think if these two were just the only two shapes that were relevant, the only two moments that we connect with the painting, you would bounce back and forth way too much. And at least if, these are the cordones, ¿cómo se? The laces of the hoodie.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're called laces, by the way. But
I think so,
if you
yeah.
travel down and you get to this shape and then you eventually kind of degrade, to these hands that are very blocked in, very simple, but you can sense the pose in them. I think that works a lot better. And then I noticed that I need to put some little abstract moments, kind of gestures, so that when I'm gonna break these, when I decide to break the sleeves up, they won't seem like, I just couldn't draw sleeves or paint sleeves, and I just, shorthanded my way into doing these kind of abstract little gestures. No. So hopefully all these like tiny little drawing marks, all these lost edges, all this kind of very expressive drag, painting dragging down, they just echo that downward gesture that I feel works really nicely in the painting. And that's it. But I feel it's nice. It was a nice way to get back into doing what we do. Let me show you guys, Danny. Could you
Yeah.
these are totally different. Could you pass me
Oh,
the couple of paintings that I did the other day,
yep.
just to show you guys how different. Like sometimes contextually, when we look at a painting like this, we forget how far it is from higher chroma or from another completely different palette. So let me show you guys the couple of paintings that I did, thinking of my that the Liverpool kind of experience. So this was
A little bit higher. Yeah. No, no tanto.
so this was yeah. So this is just a nice kind of old pub. It has cooler lights and a bunch of greens in there, but it's surrounded by the exterior super super warm light. It's really tough to paint, but I just loved that. But look at that. Look how different that experience of paint is. And this is one I did also that I just wanted. This is like super abstract. So paintings like this, a lot of people think, oh, that's a super simple painting, and I'd agree. It's just a simple painting. It's a train wagon, with this seemingly kind of empty window interior, and and honestly, I need these paintings because these paintings is where I feel comfortable when I need to deal with these moments in my other paintings. So if it wasn't for me telling myself I need to deal with those kind of abstract feelings, those kind of stranger emotions that I have to materialize, if I don't let myself do those paintings, then all these moments where I'm trying to link two ideas together, where I know I can't depend on naturalism to make them meet, that I need to hold on to something else that's quite different. If I don't do those paintings, then these moments will always going to feel uncomfortable to me. They're always going to feel foreign. I'm never going to seem confident when I paint them, which would seem ridiculous because this is a very expressive painting. This painting is about putting paint down. And if I'm not comfortable putting paint down, like if you would see me just putting paint down with the portrait and then suddenly grab a tiny little brush and just try to solve these hands, it would just seem weird. Like it would just seem like the painting was disjointed and that the two moments were not really born from the same effort, from the same, willingness to participate in this, in this exercise. So hopefully that didn't sound too much of a rant. I just wanted to show that there's always a reason for doing things and that we always have to find a space to do paintings that maybe they're different, maybe they're not what people expect, but none of that matters. Like those expectations don't matter. We shouldn't really care about those things. Shouldn't really care about other people finding those paintings attractive or liking them, the paintings. It doesn't matter. Like those paintings make sense, when we need to call upon those experiences to take us out of trouble when we have areas in our, other paintings that we need to solve. So that's when I say every single painting is valuable. Every single experience is incredibly valuable. We have to be aware of that, aware and respectful of that. So that to me is far, far more important than the validation that comes from, whatever outer institution, social, media, or, teachers, friends, colleagues, wherever we've decided that we're going to grant whatever we, how do I say this? Wherever we've decided that we're going to grant power to that space to validate us, I'm always very wary of that. And I always say, no, no, I need this for myself. I know. It's almost like saying I know what I'm doing, even if the painting turns out badly, or even if it's not super nice and attractive. It's always thinking like I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm searching for with this. So I don't need anyone to tell me about the value in this, because I recognize it and I know I need it. So that's super important for me. Hopefully we can end on that note, and that's like a super nice note, because I feel that that's a really important part of painting, especially painting in today's, time, where there are so many kind of ugly vehicles of validation, or places that we mistaken for validation, that we forget that, it is ultimately us who determines, where our value, or the value of what we do, lies in. So hopefully we can end with that. So for me, those two paintings are awesome, and I needed those experiences to find myself again in this, grayer, far more, I don't know, I would say, this is my wheelhouse. Like this is where I feel right at home. So, that's what's awesome about painting. It doesn't always have to be about producing what we're good at, what we know how to do, what impresses people, what, we kick ass at doing. No, no, no. Painting goes beyond all those things. So hopefully today was cool. It was a nice return. Any questions or anything to close?
Mm,
Daniela. And
Nicole
by the way,
ass.
no,
No,
Danny,
no,
Danny,
Nicole ass. That
Nicole
sounded
ass.
terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna
Sorry.
kind of apologize to you
No, but you
now.
you you
No, no,
should.
no. Well, just Nicole ass. You just
No, but
called
you
the.
said Danny Ellen. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no,
but
no, no. But Danny felt that I was throwing her under the bus a little bit.
no, but I
This.
was joking.
I know you were
I mean, I
joking,
know
but
everyone knows that we're
I
joking.
know, but I just want to tell you that you're incredible
Thank you.
and that you're amazing in my life.
Thank you. I don't know why you
And
changed the voice.
because it's
That's a little bit weird
I know,
for
but it's
everyone.
it's a little more intimate this way.
Okay, yeah.
And that even though you've loved Selena Gomez for years, I've never judged you for it, and I always respect you, and I always will.
Yeah,
So
me too.
tomorrow we're painting Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, but
last question.
everything's fine. I know.
Yeah, no,
We're just
no, of course, no,
joking.
of course.
Yeah. They said when drawing the head, do you use a method like Loomis or Riley? And
Okay,
do you like Phil Hale? Thank you
I
for the
I'll
videos.
start. I'll start with the second comment. Yes, I absolutely adore Phil Hale. Do I use Loomis or Riley? Um, yeah, I mean, I've read everything, every Andrew Loomis book I've read. Andrew Loomis is amazing because you can find those PDFs for free in the internet, and I think they are public. What is it? What's that
Public
called?
domain?
Public domain. I think those Andrew Loomis books are public domain by now, so you can actually, download them and not feel bad about it. Um, I think that's super ingrained in my brain, and maybe if I don't do construction lines to show you that that's how I'm thinking, that doesn't mean that that's not what I'm thinking. So those things are totally in there. It's just that I've read so much, and I've done so many bad drawings throughout the course of my life, that I feel confident now in my flawed way of drawing, whatever that means. That even like those, like I said, those imperfect moments can actually put me in trouble when I'm painting, but getting out of trouble, I think it's a super exciting thing to do in a painting. So I would answer that way. So yeah, those people are super invaluable to my my upbringing as an artist, for sure. I think that anyone who doesn't know their books should give them a look and should just practice a little bit, with the exercises that they do. Particularly the Loomis ones on composition and design are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. Of course, him being an illustrator just makes him brilliant at that, but he's amazing at that. Um, and yeah, and Phil Hale, yeah, he's for sure one of my favorite painters. So
Yeah, and last question.
yes, last one.
When you're painting,
Yes,
music,
music.
silence, or podcasts, audiobooks?
Well, now it's nothing.
Now
It's
it's
just
me
now
talking.
it's dumb conversations between us. Um, but usually, yeah, we've talked about this before. But
I
for
think
me, it's
all of the above for
yeah, all
you.
of them. But
Yeah.
for me, it's more. Danny can do more music and
No, I'm.
podcasts and movies, but Danny can do all of it
Yeah.
when she's working. For me, more podcasts, I would say. Yeah,
And
I,
silence.
or silence. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want the company with myself, with my thoughts, I would say. And I hope that doesn't sound weird, but I enjoy company with myself, or I enjoy just maybe like you guys are doing right now, that you're doing something else. And maybe while you're working, or you're in your job and you're able to just put some headphones and just listen to us. I super, super enjoy my podcasts, the ones that I listen to, which are dumb. Don't worry about them. I mean, many of them are like sciency, or like video games, or football. But those are the things that I enjoy listening to. You don't have to enjoy the same things. It doesn't matter. I think what ultimately matters is that they become my company, and I enjoy them as company. Like, I feel super close to those people. Um, so I've supported websites where they, put up videos. So these are like people I've grown up with. I know that sounds kind of weird. Maybe,
No, but
hopefully, it doesn't sound too weird.
no.
Um, and I really enjoy that. They make my day, honestly. And whenever I need to work, and I can find a little bit of their time, and that can be my company, that's where I can feel closeness to those people. That's awesome. I feel that that's fantastic, because I think it puts my mind at ease. I think with music, ultimately, it either becomes me being super enthralled by the music, or it becomes just like completely background music where I'm not even thinking about the music, so it doesn't really matter. But when I'm listening to people, it almost feels like, oh, I'm painting as if I was painting, in a table with a bunch of friends, and it doesn't matter. Like, painting becomes something supernatural there. You don't have to overthink it that much. So, yeah. So
But
I
I
would say
also, oh,
yes, Danny.
sorry,
No, no,
no,
no. Go
I
ahead.
always interrupt you,
Oh,
but
always. But yeah,
no, that I was gonna say that that's why these live sessions are also super cool
yeah, yeah,
because, like, you're painting, but like time is passing and we are talking
yeah. It's
about
super interesting.
like important things or dumb things, but it's cool. Like we're all hanging out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And to end on something, don't watch that movie that Danny recommended.
not a
It's
movie.
gonna tear you apart.
No, no.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
break your
no,
soul.
you don't have to watch it.
It is
But
like some of the darkest parts of humanity. It is super, super sad. I mean, it is a fascinating story. And it's
no,
told, and the way it's told, Danny, no,
that
I'm
yeah,
totally with you. The way it's told, it's brilliant. It's
yeah,
absolutely
because
brilliant.
that's what I told you, and we are talking again. We have been talking about this documentary like all the video, but I told you that I think that the person who made this documentary like doesn't have to make anything more.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this
it's an
this
amazing work. Yeah.
yeah, and this story is bigger than
Yeah.
like anything that he could experience in
Oh, for
all of his
sure.
life.
Oh,
So
yeah, 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 for
that's
sure.
why I love that documentary because I think it's a very good documentary.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch it. I mean, if you do, you can let us know what you
Yeah, let us
think.
know tomorrow. If you have an ounce of soul that you don't mind like completely destroying, because you have some backup soul, maybe,
No, I
somewhere
cried.
else.
And when I was with you, I also cried. I mean,
I
every time
know.
I watch it, I just like pour my eyes out
Yeah,
because
but
it's
yeah,
like
but
I feel like pain in my heart
Oh,
when I watch
I know,
that
but
documentary.
I just I don't know how to deal with those things when I watch, documentaries. Like, it's not that I'm avoiding that feeling. I very much so acknowledge that feeling, and that feeling sometimes prompts you to do things, to act, like to question the way you act, or what things you believe in. So that's a really powerful feeling, but it totally, it's a horrible feeling. I mean, and again, anything that has to do with kids, or oh my god, it just kills me. It just absolutely kills me. So
Yeah, but as a documentary,
again,
I mean,
yes, as a work, it's fascinating.
impeccable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
Atkins is saying I downloaded it already.
oh my
Gonna watch
god.
it now.
Oh no,
Let
just
no,
yeah,
let
lie
us know.
down, lie down.
Let us know tomorrow, maybe if you can join the stream,
Oof.
or you can let me know if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, send her a message.
Yeah, yeah, you can talk with me about
Yeah.
that documentary
Yeah.
if you want in
Oh yeah,
my
yeah.
comments or
Yeah, I'm broken. I can't.
Instagram or
Yeah, I
whatever.
can't do it. I can't. I'm not good for that. So anyway,
Maybe we can rewatch it.
no, 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 no. I don't
Not
need to go to the.
today, but
No, no,
no,
no. Maybe the
okay.
day I die, maybe.
Okay, never. No,
You know,
if you're
and on
dead,
on my
after.
deathbed. I mean, no, that would be the shittiest way to go. But no, no, I don't think so,
Okay,
Danny. I could watch anything else with you, but I don't know if that
okay.
one's like
So we're
super
doing
weird.
Mean Girls tonight.
Yeah, fine. Anything
No,
else,
it
I'm
was a
like
joke.
okay, but yeah. So we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys. Awesome being back. I hope you guys enjoyed the live sessions. We certainly do.
Yeah.
I mean, this has become part of our lives, and I don't know. We love this moment. We couldn't do it sooner because I was exhausted. Like,
No, and
this
you
is
were
all
super
on me.
jet lagged.
Yeah, no, I was
I mean, you
super
are
tired.
still.
Super tired. I'll tell you tomorrow the amazing thing that happened, the last day, and how it was just a race against time to try to get me to London,
Oh
because
yeah.
it was just, oh my god, it was so stressful. But I'll tell you guys tomorrow. We'll
Oh
we'll
wait,
talk
wait,
about,
wait.
yes,
Because they're asking how the documentary is called.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah, I was
called
going to tell you, Danny,
Dear
like,
Zachary.
say the documentary again.
Yeah. So the name is Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
I'm
I'm
super
gonna
curious.
type it
What's
for
what's
you.
the IMDb or the Rotten Tomatoes on that,
Oh, wait. So
or the
IMDb
Metacritic?
is 8.5 of
No,
10
it's pretty
and
high.
Rotten Tomatoes is 94%.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's, again, what Danny said. It's incredible. But I mean, it's a story that's told in an incredible way. The
Yeah.
thing is, the story itself is gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fucking tear you apart. So
So here's
be warned. That's my
here's
only
the name.
warning.
Yeah, no, I was seeing
Maybe if you would have talked to me that way when we first watched it,
yeah,
like,
because I
so
didn't want
much,
it to
like, maybe
spoil.
maybe with all the warnings that I'm giving people, it's like, okay, I know what I'm supposed, like, I can take this. But you said nothing to me, so I was like
No, I told
completely
you
my
it was
guard
super
down,
hard.
and I was like, oh my
No, I
fucking
told
god,
you
what's
I
going on?
cried a lot and it was super
Yeah,
hard.
but you cry with, like,
I'm
like
super
Kleenex
emotional, so
commercials. Yeah,
no.
yeah.
No, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say that I was reading a review and it says, I never cry or get emotionally traumatized by movies or TV,
Emotionally
but oh
traumatized.
my lordy, bro. So
I mean,
I don't even have
I
words
think
to
I
describe
undersold it
this.
then.
It's
You
a
know,
roller coaster and
this
then
this
some.
person, they described it as emotionally
No,
traumatizing.
but they're saying it's powerful, it's moving, it's touching, it's beautiful. Yet
Yeah.
somehow it left me in tears and filled me the brim with rage
Yeah.
uh, and we know it's super long. So,
Yeah. No,
but
again.
yeah, if you
So
if
yeah.
you if you watch it, maybe we can talk about that
Yeah, a little
tomorrow.
bit,
So
a little bit. So it's not, I'm not reliving my traumatizing, again, emotionally traumatizing.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
So thank you
it's
everyone for
super nice
joining
that
us.
we ended on a high note. Thank you, Danny.
No, but people are interested. They're
I know,
asking
I
about
know, I know, I know. I mean, not everything can be Marvel. Not everything can be, Disney. So
no, and it's a beautiful documentary. in its way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you everyone for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.